In Lubbock, where Texas Tech head coach Tim Tadlock has turned Lubbock into a baseball town. Red Raiders in the Supers for the fourth time in the past 6 years. This Super Regional sold out in an hour. With that, welcome to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Oklahoma State in town for the second time this season. They got swept by the Red Raiders in the regular season matchup. Whoever wins the best, 2 out of 3 here, moves on to Omaha. They will open up with the winner of UCLA in Michigan. The other side of the bracket already underway with Louisville putting a hurting on ECU. Mississippi State, Stanford, North Carolina, Auburn getting started Saturday. With that, hello and welcome to Lubbock. I'm Lower Galindo here with Keith Moreland. And Keith, this matchup is so interesting because two teams that know each other so well. You got the regular season champs from the Big 12 at Texas Tech and the tournament champs from Oklahoma State. Now, the Red Raiders know they swept the Cowboys. What happens this time around?
Well, you look at the scenario for the Red Raiders. They just keep doing what they're doing. If you're the Cowboys, you got to lock the hubs, put it in four-wheel drive because you're going to have to grind it out here. It's a tough place to win, especially for the visiting team. I think who scores first in this first game is so important.
We got the same pitching matchup that we had in Game 1 in that regular season series. Micah Dallas has really emerged lately as the guy. He is a new #1 pitcher for Texas Tech.
Well, first part of the season, he was out of the bullpen. He started now after the Texas series, been moved into the Friday night guy. He's a guy that gets a power pitcher. He uses the fastball, 90 to 94 with the fastball. You know, he's one of those guys, when you look at him, he's not going to try to fool you. He's going to come right after you with his fastball. He's a young freshman from Auburn, Texas. He will mix in a changeup occasional. His breaking ball is his out pitch at times to right-handed hitters.
Houston Morrill, sensational freshman second baseman, will lead off for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State won the Oklahoma City Regional to advance to this Super. A battle of teams seeded 8 and 9 nationally. So the Big 12 knows they'll get one team to Omaha, but just one. And keep this Oklahoma State lineup. It is a group that mashes. One of the top home run hitting teams in America. But there's a downside to that. They do strike out a lot.
Well, they do have troubles at times putting the ball in play. But from top to bottom, they can do some neat things. You know, Houston Morrill right here at the top. He, for me, is a guy that really can be an igniter. If he finds a way to reach base, excellent pitch right there with a breaking ball. But if he reaches base, it just sets up the next 4 guys in this lineup who all have double-digit home runs.
Morrill is down 1-2 to Micah Dallas. And a swing and a miss. Look at Dallas. He's jacked up to start this one. Some energy with the trip to Omaha on the line. Oklahoma State, this is a team that will hit it out of the yard. This lineup is really suited for this park because the ball gets out. But this is the downside. It is a team that struck out 52 times in 4 games in the Oklahoma City Regional.
Yeah, a dynamite little hard breaking ball right there. It's not really a slider and it's not really a curve. I would call it just a hard breaking ball. And boy, great location with it.
This is Christian Funk. So now you're at the part in the Oklahoma State lineup with Christian Funk, Colin Simpson, Andrew Navigato, and Trevor Boone. All 4 with double-digit home runs. Very tough to navigate. Close miss by Dallas. And that evens us up at 1-1.
Well, he really likes to work quickly. He's a guy that gets on the mound, wants the ball. He's aggressive. He doesn't like to take a lot of time in between pitches.
That had some giddy up, and Funk was able to get a pitch.
You know, there are guys, Lowell, that, you know, walk around the mound a little bit, try to get their idea of what they want to do, and then there's other guys that want to get in the rhythm. Well, for Micah Dallas, his rhythm is get it and go. He wants to get it and get after it right now.
Leaves that high. Battery mate for Micah Dallas, Braxton Fulford. Really took over the starting catching duties at the end of last season for a Texas Tech team that's trying to go to Omaha for the 2nd straight year. And that one is lofted to right field on the run. It will drop on the warning track. Gabe Holt misplays it, and Christian Funk will hold up at second base, and there is a double for Christian Funk.
Well, Funk was fooled here. He gets out on his front foot, and when he gets out on his front foot, he has a tendency to keep his hands back. But you can see right there, he's out fooled. But that shows you the strength of Christian Funk right there. He didn't take a big swing, reached out and hooked it, but he kept his hands back, able to get into the corner for a one-out double.
And this is a guy stepping up that makes Oklahoma State go. Colin Simpson, their senior, 15 home runs on the season, but boy, was it a struggle in Oklahoma City. 2 of 17, and he struck out 10 times. Swing and a miss. When he swings, it's all or none.
Well, he's a guy that can hit the ball to left field, but doesn't happen very often. He hits the ball to dead straightaway or to right field almost on every swing. He's not going to change his approach with 2 strikes. He's thinking about driving it somewhere into the gap.
And the ball will carry predominantly to left field here in Lubbock. Dallas steps off. Pay attention to Funk at second. It's a team in Oklahoma State, they don't run a lot.
No, they don't run a lot. And speaking of, we have an unusual breeze here today. It is in a little bit from left center. The ball's going to carry better to right than left here today.
Brian Klein at second base playing in shallow right field. That misses the spot to make it 1-1.
Got an opportunity, you and I did, to sit down with Tank, as everybody calls him. What a great personality. You can tell he's the leader of this team. There's just no doubt about it. He's very upbeat, has a lot of fun, plays hard, no doubt.
And that ball goes a mile high.
But he's so positive in what he was saying. Just spending time with him, he said, you know, you're going to lose a game. It's just baseball, but hey, we're going to go out. We're going to do the same things that we do every time. We're going to have fun. We're going to play hard, and we're going to do what we do. And if you do what they do, they hit the ball out of the ballpark.
And we'll do anything to get the bats going, whether it is a rubber ducky.
Oh, yeah.
That they buried and then unburied in Oklahoma City, or throwing every bat in the possession of this team out onto the field. Simpson will get it going to try to get the bats hot.
So Micah Dallas trying to overthrow that breaking ball that time. When you get out in front, a lot of times your arm starts to drag and it stays upstairs, and that's exactly what happened.
Second time that Oklahoma State has seen the freshman Micah Dallas this season. Went 5 1/3, 9 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, struck out 8, walked 2 in the first matchup on April 26. Fulford makes the play, and that is bang bang at first base, but Cameron Warren is able to receive it going outside, and there's 2 down.
Well, this is a huge, gigantic play in this game early as the ball gets away. Breaking ball down in the dirt. He swings over the top of it, but Simpson knew right away he had to go. He was going as hard as he could. Fulford comes up just in time to get him. Boy, that first and third 1 out is much different than a man on third and 2 outs.
Fulford, such a good job staying under control.
Yeah, he didn't panic.
It's a good Texas Tech defense, especially when it comes to turning the double play. They've really turned it around with Josh Young. They tried out 4 different shortstops before moving Josh Young from third base to shortstop. And since making that move, Texas Tech has really started to click defensively and overall. Young, the number 8 overall pick in the draft. J.J. Blade at Vandy, the only higher pick that's playing in the Super Regionals. Impressive looking prospect is Josh Young. This is Andrew Navigato. That's popped up. Gabe Holt giving it a run and runs out of room.
Well, Micah Dallas has been a little bit different in his approach. Probably 50% fastball breaking ball here in this first inning, where, and it may be who he's facing, Lope, but his MO, when you look at his year-long numbers on his percentage, he was in this upper 60s with fastballs. I mean, 67, 68% of his pitches have been fastballs. And in this inning, he's more 50-50 with his breaking ball.
0-2, what do you think he goes with here?
I think you go that hard breaking ball. It's been a good one so far. There it is right there.
Does not get the call.
Well, the plate is 17 inches wide, and there are times that even the umpire can get fooled. This started out in, did it come back? I think it was the proper call. I don't think the ball came all the way back to the plate after getting a second glance at it.
Dallas looking for his third strikeout to end this one. Navigado stays alive.
Coach Holliday talked to us in the regional where he talked about just got to find a way to get some base hits. Yeah, obviously this is a team you get the ball in the ballpark, but right here you can get on the board and take the lead with just a single. So contact, put it in play, force the defense to make a play.
Yesterday in practice, Josh Holliday, head coach of Oklahoma State, pounded situational hitting. Good backhand by Easton Morrell. Throw across the diamond by runner. Left on third. So Micah Dallas, the freshman, comes out, strikes out two, gets solid defense behind him. No score as we set up the Texas Tech bats. Laura Galindo here with Keith Moreland. Game one of the Super Regionals between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. The Cowboys will roll out their ace, Jensen Elliott, who has looked like an ace in the second half of the season.
Well, he's got an outstanding fastball that he's got good sink to, and he moves it in and out. He's a three-pitch guy. His command is exceptional. His changeup is a plus pitch as well. And the thing for Elliott is, if you go 2-2 and you haven't seen his changeup, he'll have to drop it in, right-hander or left-hander. You know, a lot of right-handed pitchers don't like to throw changeup to right-handed hitter. Elliott will have a great mix the entire day. His arm slot has created a little sink here in his senior year, and that's made him really effective. He's got a lot of ground balls.
I know wins, losses, sometimes it's put down in terms of next level stats in this generation of baseball, but 10 wins for Elliott. First 10-win pitcher for Oklahoma State since 2015. So when he's on the mound, his guys have a great shot of getting the dub. Gabe Holt leading off for Texas Tech. One of the top table setters in all of college baseball. He's reached base safely in 102 of 122 career games. The Brewers took notice, drafted him in the 7th round.
I think the description head coach Tim Tadlock gave of Gabe Holt was one of the best I've seen. He said the day he walked on campus, we knew we had a leadoff hitter. You got to like that. I mean, there was no question where he was going to hit in the order.
And he's looking at a 3-0 count here from Jensen Elliott. Finds his spot. Holt, of course, disagrees, and it's 3-1. Tadlock also says that recently Holt has started to implement the bunt game over the past 6 weeks or so, and he's always been able to do it, but is a guy that usually likes to swing it. Back-to-back strikes from Elliott.
Well, I think once he goes to the next level, to professional ball, that is a weapon that you've got to use, and they will, whatever organization that gets him going, he will have to do that once a game. It will be a mandatory thing. It start happening, you know. College baseball is about winning games. Minor league baseball is about developing players.
Yeah,
as you know, people ask me that question all the time. That's the two things.
And Holt, the draft eligible sophomore, so he still has some leverage and potential negotiations with the Brewers. Full count, no outs. Smacked, but right into the glove of Navigado. How you doing?
Well, this is a nice job by Elliott to start with. He fell behind 3-0, came back through 4 consecutive strikes. The last one gets hit right on the head of the bat as Holt puts a charge.
Able to do it, but is a guy that usually likes to swing it. Back-to-back strikes from Elliott.
Well, I think once he goes to the next level, to professional ball, that is a weapon that you've got to use, and they will, whatever organization that gets him going, he will he will have to do that once a game. It will be a mandatory thing. It start happening. You know, college baseball is about winning games. Minor league baseball is about developing players.
Yeah.
As you know, people ask me that question all the time. That's the two things.
And Holt, the draft eligible sophomore, so he still has some leverage and potential negotiations with the Bruins. Full count, no outs. Smacked, but right into the glove of Navigado. How you doing?
Well, this is a nice job by Elliott to start with. He fell behind 3-0, came back through 4 consecutive strikes. The last one gets hit right on the head of the bat as Holt puts a charge in it. Navigado just climbs the ladder, times his jump perfectly, and comes down with the play. But big part for me was coming back from 3-0.
That's going to bring up Dylan Noisy. Texas Tech, glad to see him back in the lineup. Didn't play in the first 2 games of the Lubbock Regional, dealing with a hammy issue, but was back for the finale in the 3-0 win against Dallas Baptist. That's outside to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Colin Simpson handling the catching duties for Oklahoma State, and was not out there for pregame infield because Josh Holliday, he's been in situations like this before, knows what it takes to win and make a run.
Well, the other part of that is you got to let some of these young guys, they played a lot of baseball. Just look at it. The Big 12 tournament champions had to play 5 games, come through the losers bracket, or didn't lose until Saturday, but lost a game in the middle, so they had 5 games there. They lost a game in the regional and had to go through four games there. So a lot of baseball over the last 10 days. So you want to give your guys some rest. And again, Elliott falling behind here 3-1.
Noisy, ground ball to Navigato. And it's 2 down. Yeah, this is actually the first time in 10 games that Oklahoma State has not played at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City, because they made that run through the Big 12 tournament, which was there, and then because of rain in Stillwater, they could not host their regional at their home park, Allie P. Reynolds, and had to play in OKC.
Yeah, you can see, though, during the year, that is their season. It did a nice job, 20 games over 500, won the tournament championship, finished 3rd in the regular season in the Big 12. And that last graphic at the bottom, as you saw that graphic, they're a team that can hit the ball. They can get you quick ones in a hurry with the home run ball.
Past the glove of Christian Funk is Brian Klein. And what that does is put a runner on for one of the most dynamic offensive threats in college baseball. Josh Young, the co-Big 12 Player of the Year and the number 8 overall pick in the draft. He is all everything.
He's a tremendous player. You just see a lot of his things there. You know, 3-time All Big 12 selection. He was co-Player of the Year last year in 18 as well as he was here in 19. He does so many different things. You know, he's had a year, did all this, where he spent about a third of the year with a hamstring scenario that he was really dealing with. And numbers probably would have been much better if he'd have been healthy all season long.
That's one of the names to his game, though, is the consistency. Throughout his entire 3-year career at Texas Tech, he has had fantastic numbers and not many dips and ebbs and flows. You know what you're going to get from Josh Young.
A lot of teams like to crowd Josh. He understands the strike zone. He will take his walks. But the thing that I think makes him so impressive is, as a young hitter, a collegiate hitter, he uses the right center part of the ballpark as well as anybody. Stays inside the baseball, and he drives it that way with power.
Rips that one foul. Down 1-2. Young is hitting .373 with 2 outs. And their 4-5 punch with Cameron Warren following is as good as you will find in college baseball. And this park suits them perfectly. And a check on Brian Klein. Klein, not a stolen base threat, just 0 for 1 on the season.
Yeah, that's something in this series. we won't see a whole lot of. These teams are not big on. They'll run occasionally, but not very often.
Hit the 2-run home run. That's the offense. Up the middle with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Young delivers. Klein hits the brakes. And that will set the table for Cameron Warren.
We talked about being able to stay inside the baseball and teams trying to crowd Josh Young. Well, they try to crowd him right here. Tried to run this sinker back in, left it over the middle of the plate. Watch his hands come in, barrel of the bat comes down and through. As good as anybody in collegiate baseball of being able to stay inside the ball is Josh Young.
And there's no room to breathe a sigh of relief at all once you get past Young, because Cameron Warren, on the college level, as accomplished of a hitter as Josh Young. 3 games in the Lubbock Regional, Warren homered in all 3. He was thinking about number 4 in the NCAA postseason.
Well, you got to have protection, and that's what he's been. Well, you just mentioned it. That's what he's been in this lineup, is protection. And with 17 homers and 75 ribbies, he's been a little more than protection. Interesting. Started him out with a slider and then come right back with that sinker trying to hit the outside corner.
And that is Cameron Warren's tree out there. He clipped the top branches with a home run in the Lubbock Regional and has hit them clear over that tree in batting practice.
Just look at the mix. As if you're Jensen Elliott right here, you're thinking, all right, I started him out with a breaking ball, he took a big hack at it. I've tried to go back-to-back with the sinker on the outside. I think he's going to come back with a breaking ball here in a fastball count.
Right into the mid of Christian Funk, 2 left on. So Texas Tech offensively hits Elliott hard, but nothing to show for it. No score as we go to the second Super Regionals here in Lubbock.
Leading off for the Cowboys, the center fielder, Trevor Boone.
Chris, thank you so much. And we're here in Lubbock, where the season ended for the Louisville Cardinals a year ago. They were here in the Lubbock Regional, won by Texas Tech, or beating Duke to go on to the Supers. They will try to make it back-to-back, and 4 in the past 6 years. Micah Dallas, freshman, 2 strikeouts in the first inning, and a double to Christian Funk. And getting ahead here to Trevor Boone. Boone is the man really responsible getting Oklahoma State to this point. Who knows what would have happened if not for his 3-run home run in the winner's game of the Oklahoma City Regional. Boone goes down on strikes. Dallas with punch out number 3.
Well, Trevor Boone is one of those all-or-nothing guys. In the regional, he really struggled to make contact. In that, the one time that he did make contact, it was big. It was a 3-run shot at the time, but swing and miss. Well over 15 times he swung and missed in the regional.
They trailed Nebraska 5-0 into that game. Late in the game, and the blast from Boone actually broke one of the neon lettering from Bricktown Ballpark.
It was high and far. You know, there's 2 ways you can hit a home run. Low and hard or high and far.
Which one do you prefer?
Both of them go out of the park. I really
so
don't
it's
care.
okay?
But the high and far ones are cool.
So they were cleaning up in Oklahoma City, and they actually got a scissor lift, went up to the H in Chickasaw, and were able to retrieve the baseball from Boone's home run. Took a picture of it, put it on Instagram. Not sure if it got sent back to Trevor, but I'd want it if I did that. This is Dallas facing Bryce Carter. Up the middle for Brian Klein. And 2 quick outs.
Good mix today for Micah Dallas. was expecting to see a few more fastballs than we've seen so far. He's done a nice job. He's got a good feel. You know, you're in the bullpen sometimes as a starting pitcher. You get a feel for, oh, I've got a good feel for my breaking ball today, and that's a day when you come out and you've got a feel for it. You use it a little more than you would on a normal day, because he's got a fastball that will touch 94 when he needs it.
Strike one to Carson McCusker, also one of the heroes of the Oklahoma City Regional. Had a clutch home run, a double in the deciding win against UConn, and a trio of fantastic defensive plays out in left field. 6'8" as that one skips from Dallas.
Yeah, Oklahoma State struggled during the middle part of the year. Cluster was out with mono, and boy, getting him back into the lineup. Josh Holliday told us it was such to get him back going and being the player he was before he got mono, to get this guy back, because he's an excellent left fielder to go with it.
And the numbers speak for themselves. 87 home runs for this Oklahoma State team, 5th in the NCAA, 23rd in slugging percentage. And when you have a number 7 hitter like McCusker, you're going to do some damage. He's down 1-2. And how about that? Micah Dallas is just loving life right now on the bump here in Lubbock. He's got 4 punch-outs through 2 innings. Bottom of the second coming up.
NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Nestle Pure Life. 100% pure quality water.
Beautiful campus here at Texas Tech in Lubbock. Spanish architecture, terracotta roofs. And then here inside Rip Griffin Park, a lot of red in attendance. Super Regional sold out in 1 hour. Cody Masters leading off against Jensen Elliott. Every Texas Tech hitter touched Elliott in the first inning, but he was able to get through it without surrendering a run.
Now mixed in his changeup, first pitch changeup. You don't see that very often. Comes back with a breaking ball. Elliott's got a good mix, and when he's right, he's about 50% fastball, 25 change, 25% breaking ball.
Starts off with his glove at that right hip before starting the windup. Elliott, a 19th round pick by the Orioles. They're liking the way that looked for Texas Tech. 42-17 on the year. They won the regular season championship at 16-8. Also won the Lubbock Regional, going 3-0, beating Dallas Baptist in the final 2 games. Army in the first, and this team red hot. 19 of the last 23 games.
Tim Tadlock clubs always play their best ball in May and June. Doing it again here in 2019.
Texas Tech started getting hot the series before taking on Oklahoma State. When they won the series against Baylor, Oklahoma State has turned it on after the series against Texas Tech. They got swept, and it was not close. Outscored 27-8 here in Lubbock, but since then 14-3. And the real turning point is when Oklahoma State went on the road and swept Oregon State. Elliott ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kurt Wilson.
Well, the Red Raiders can hit. Their offensive totals, when you just look at them, are about as good as any team in the country. They're in the top 20 in pretty much every offensive category.
But did you see Elliott during that timeout? Did not flinch. He was a statue. After Wilson called for the timeout, Elliott did not move.
Well, he's a veteran. This battery, roommates.
And a base hit by Wilson to left field.
Now batting
So Oklahoma State gets a lot of pub on their offense. Texas Tech is right there with them. Batting average is higher at 16th overall. They don't have nearly the home run numbers, but they're getting the extra base hits, and they've got speed. So guys that can turn a double into a triple, like a Gabe Holt at the top of the lineup. This is Easton Morrell, transfer from Arkansas that's really started to come on late in the season and has gotten more times. He'll start at third base when facing a righty. The numbers on the season don't blow you away. Just his 8th game he's played in, hitting 143.
Yeah, but he kept his head in there. You know, you could give up. Getting late in your career, you're not playing every day, and you can just sort of not keep working. He kept working, has worked his way into an opportunity to play pretty regular.
We're expecting to see another Arkansas transfer, and Bryce Bonin on the bump for the Red Raiders if this requires a 3rd game. That's down low. 1-1.
See if he doesn't come back and try to get something running away right here. Try to get a ground ball with the sinker.
Morrell shows bunt. Simpson thought about throwing back, and he kept the bunt out there for the 2nd strike.
Knew he was going to run away from him that time. Went to the change and got it done. You saw the late movement. Just couldn't put it down. In the middle of the day, the hub city of Lubbock, turf is going to be well over 100 degrees this afternoon. So you'll see guys starting to take their time and try to get their breath.
2nd strikeout of the inning for Jensen Elliott. Lo Galindo here with former All-American from the University of Texas, Keith Moreland. At the best of 3 super regionals, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, the only 2 teams remaining from the Big 12. Cowboys won the tournament in Oklahoma City. The Red Raiders won the regular season title. As Texas Tech tries to go to Omaha for the 4th time in the past 6 years. Tim Tadlock has done a tremendous job. So has Josh Holliday for Oklahoma State. Former standout for the Cowboys with a long lineage with his family in Stillwater. He is trying to get his group back the first time since 2016. Texas Tech swept the regular season matchup here in Lubbock between these 2 teams. And a breaking ball as Elliott starts ahead. Elliott started game 1 of the Oklahoma City Regional against Harvard, as Oklahoma State beat the Crimson 2-0. Way outside, and it's 1-1. We were scratching our heads initially asking why Oklahoma State would go to Jensen Elliott in that first game, and it turns out that Harvard was a tough out and they needed Elliott on the mound.
Hunter Biggie, the right-hander for Harvard, has got really good stuff. He won that game 2-0. Elliott was the star of that game. He was dominant on the mound. Was the difference in the win for the Cowboys.
7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And the tourney opener. Braxton Fulford hitting in the 9 spot. Chops it foul, and it's 2-2.
There are 4 squares in the strike zone. And Jensen Elliott, you see the numbers right there, his 10th win of the season against Harvard. He was outstanding. But he changes speed so well, and he uses all 4 quadrants of the strike zone. Like that pitch tied him up and in. See if he doesn't go to the bottom quadrant away from him here.
Runner going. The throw down from Simpson will not be in time. And Wilson is in safely. Good jump.
Yeah, he got an excellent jump. Simpson didn't even try to come to his feet. He threw from his knees here. He never came up. Got an excellent jump, as a matter of fact, and just trying to get it down there as quick as he could. Really no chance to get him because of the jump.
So the hometown kid, Braxton Fulford, will try to get Texas Tech on the board. Full count, 2 outs. Fulford wants time. That's inside and a 2-out walk. Back to the top of the lineup, and Gabe Holt.
Just underneath that breaking ball a little bit, left it inside, had him fooled. Now you got trouble. Second time in consecutive innings here to start the ball game that Jensen Elliott up to 41 pitches already. This is a warm afternoon.
This will be pitch number 20 of this second inning coming up. Elliott did not record an out in the third inning. His last time here, 7 earned runs and 2 innings of work. 6 of those coming in the third. First pitch strike to Holt.
Right now he's up quite a bit with that breaking ball. He's leaving it about the belt. And he's been able to get strikes with it. The first pitch strikes have not been a problem. It's 9 of 10. Now have been first pitch strikes, but that was not in a good location, but got away with it.
Holt laced one to Navigado at shortstop. His first time up, way outside. Holt hitting .323 on the season. He's driven in 34. Guy out of a small town in Georgia that was originally committed to play at Winthrop. Then J. Bob Thomas, Texas Tech hitting coach, spotted him and said, "You need to come to Lubbock, set the table for this lineup."
Good location that time. That slider in right on his hands. Now you got lots of options. Go back to the change, you're really away from him. Have good arm speed with it. Or you can go climb the ladder with the fastball.
Back-to-back innings, Tech with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Elliott worked out of it in the first.
There's the high fastball. Still set up, he can still go away with the change.
Wilson on second, Fulford on first. A single and a walk putting him there. Inside, that was close. Holt stands his ground. It's a full count.
But just missed his spot. Saw Holt react to it to get back. It just didn't tail back enough to get the call in the inside corner.
Full count, 2 outs, and foul. We've gotten into a lot of the starting pitching on the offense for both these teams. Very similar, but really fantastic bullpens as well. So if one of these pitchers has to leave early, it's not like either lacks arms. Both of them with some of the deeper bullpens that they've had in years. Seventh pitch coming. Here to Gabe Holt. Red Raiders leadoff man. Back-to-back two-out walks. Elliott struggling with the control.
Yeah, 1-2, and then couldn't put him away. Trying to make a great pitch, trying to put him away, and ended up walking him. Now he's got to go back. It's a great opportunity. Simpson, again, roommates, know each other well, but for me, this is more of a scenario where you're going out and giving him just a breather break. It's a hot day, and he's had a long inning, well over 25 pitches in this frame.
Are you seeing anything in particular that's plaguing Elliott?
Well, he doesn't have a good feel for right now for his fastball. That's something that's been unusual. He's had a better feel for his slider and his change. He's going to have to make good pitches right now.
They are loaded for Noisy. Sophomore from Fort Worth. Second team all Big 12 selection. And outside for ball one. Does not look like the same guy that we saw in Oklahoma City. And that State has seen really since the Texas series. Up the middle, Texas Tech on the board. Here comes Fulford. The throw to third will not be in time, and it's 2-0 Red Raiders.
When you fall behind and you give up free passes, it comes back to haunt you. 1-0 delivery fastball right down Broadway. Just hammers that ball up the middle. Does a nice job staying inside it. Pretty much knew a fastball was coming, had to elevate it. And he makes the Cowboys pay. And now you've got still trouble on your hands with Young coming to the plate. Excuse me, Klein.
A chance of Raider power erupting here from Rip Griffin Park. It is a hot, steamy day, but they have shown up in droves, a sellout, as this is becoming a regular occurrence here in Lubbock, hosting big games for Texas Tech baseball. (2-0 decline. Upstairs, and it's 3-0. Josh Young, 8th overall pick, is on deck. Elliott looking for something. Not going to get it. Josh Young, co-Big 12 Player of the Year. He was the preseason Player of the Year. Just listen to this crowd. They'll let you know what's about to happen. They know what's on the line. And when they saw it was Josh Young approaching with the bases loaded, which led to Rob Walton coming out to talk with Jensen Elliott, this crowd erupted. Josh Young, though, does so much preparation for moments like this. We know he's already worked through this situation in his head multiple hours before the start of this game. Josh Young separates himself with mental preparation, finds a spot under the stadium, and meditates before he gets to the park, then spends time on the field visualizing every situation he may face. When he steps into the box, Tim Tadlock says the difference between him and everybody else, he no longer thinks about his swing. He's just locked in to the pitch and to the moment. Jake Lyons getting warm in the pen for Oklahoma State. Here we go. Easily a moment that could turn the Super Regional upside down.
Just has not had a good feel. You can see battling himself, trying to make a great pitch rather than allowing a pitch to come out of his hands.
Young pops it up, and it will get to the seats. Young works with concentration grids. Basically looks like a checkerboard. Numbers from 0 to 100. You lock your eyes in, and as quickly, with as much focus as you can, you try to touch the numbers in order from 0 to 99. As part of the various mental exercises that Josh Young does to get him locked and loaded for a situation like this. Late again, and he's down 1-2.
Well, again, you'll see all weekend the Cowboys try to crowd Young. Big guys, they do not want them to extend, so fastballs in, slow away. You try to speed a hitter up, then slow him down with the off speed.
Popped up, and Jensen Elliott should be out of the jam. Wow, turn of events there. Texas Tech gets 2 on, but mark that as Elliott gets out of bases loaded, facing the number 8 overall pick with a pop out. You're watching NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Here in Lubbock, Mo Galindo with Keith Moreland. More coverage of the Division I baseball tournament and interactive brackets. Go to NCAA.com. So Oklahoma State was able to get out of it, only allowing 2 runs. Could have been much worse, as Jensen Elliott was able to get Josh Young, the number 8 overall pick in the draft, to pop up with the bases loaded. So now Oklahoma State will try to respond with Alex Garcia leading off. And Keith, as we saw last weekend in Oklahoma City, playing from behind is something that does not really faze this Oklahoma State team when you consider that more than half of their wins are via the comeback.
Yeah, that's because they can hit the ball in the ballpark. They're in every game because what they can do offensively. But they're going to have to get a game plan together, because right now Micah Dallas is outstanding. He's got a great mix going with his fastball and his slider. He's been pitching ahead. And then once he gets ahead of you, he's been able to put especially the right-handed hitters away with the breaking ball.
4 strikeouts already for the freshman. Garcia skies it. Cameron Warren communicating with Brian Klein. Klein calls him off, and it's 1 down.
A little conversation. It's always a conversation when the second baseman comes over and Warren's saying, hey, you know, I was camped right there underneath that. You can see the little chuckles back and forth. But in reality, Warren's going, thank you. You always want somebody else to have to come in, maybe have a little better angle.
And we learned from seeing him in Austin this past season, from seeing him in the regional here a year ago, he's always having fun. It doesn't matter the situation. Warren is a guy that loves life and loves being on the diamond. Cade Cabanis hitting in the 9 spot. Some big dudes in this Oklahoma State lineup. Josh Holliday goes out and tries to recruit big athletic bodies. I don't think you'll find a more imposing physical presence of 7, 8, 9 hitters in America than McCusker, Garcia, and Cabanis. All 3, bottom of the lineup, but are enormous. Dallas has him down 0-2 and has strikeout number 5. We are here in Lubbock, Texas for game 1 of the Super Regionals between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. The Red Raiders, the Big 12 regular season champs. Oklahoma State won the tournament. Second series between these opponents this season. They met earlier this year right here in Lubbock, Texas, Stanlaw Field, Rip Griffin Park, only to see Texas Tech win the series 3-0, outscoring the Pokes 27-8. Since then, Oklahoma State has rebounded, winning 14 of their past 17, and Texas Tech has simply stayed hot, winning 19 of the last 23 to get to this point. Red Raiders got 2 on the board with Dylan Noisy, a 2-run single with 2 outs up the middle. Cowboys were able to get Josh Young to pop out with the bases loaded. And there is Morrow making a 1-2-3 inning for Micah Dallas, who was looking locked in. The freshman showing the emotion and controlling it as well. Just had a thunderous applause moments ago here in Lubbock. The reason why: Chris Beard and Jarrett Culver, the hometown kid, the guys that led the Red Raiders to the Final Four, have entered the building. That's some star power right there, Keith.
Well, there it is. You look at that. You always like to feed off what's going on around your university, and basketball did an outstanding job. Final Four appearance, and here at the ballpark trying to get the baseball team into that Final 8 appearance.
Wow, it is going well for basketball and baseball here in Lubbock right now. Cameron Warren leading off. And it's now 1-1. Jinsan Elliott just got through a 36-pitch inning, and that was a quick break right there with the 1-2-3 inning. So he's got to go right back to work.
He's just missing his spots by 3 or 4 inches. Just off trying to make, sometimes you try to make, no matter who you are, you try to make the perfect pitch too often instead of getting a piece of the zone, and you end up being in the scenario you are right now where you're 3-1 to a guy that can leave the ballpark.
Did so in all 3 games of the regionals. Cameron Warren, the leading RBI man in the Big 12. Tread lightly. Down to a knee, Beltray style. Cameron Warren from Midwest City, Oklahoma. This was a guy that was throwing 95 on the mound before 2 shoulder injuries that really ended that part of his baseball career. But he's become a first-team All-Big 12 selection as that one is floating out to right field because of the power bat and slowly turning into a solid defensive first baseman, Keith.
Well, I think he's outstanding. He's got really soft hands. He's learned to move it. He's worked hard at becoming a good defender and playing catch, as Coach Tadlock calls it. And then the other part of it, offensively, you don't have a player like Young have the years that he's had without having some protection behind him.
Great point. The only senior on this Texas Tech team. And you can say the same thing for Colin Simpson on the other side for Oklahoma State, right? You have 2 foundational players in Young and Simpson, and you start from there and build the lineup around them. But it needs guys in front and behind, right?
Oh, no doubt. And I think you'll look at the last few years at teams that have competed for the national championship once they've made the trip to Omaha. There's a lot of veteran players. I mean, yes, young players are involved. There's no doubt. Freshmen are going to have an impact. But those senior guys, there's no substitute for experience.
And this Texas Tech team has an interesting mix because they've got the leaders like Warren and Young and Holt, but they had to bring in a lot of new faces. 13 freshmen and 7 transfers, and it's clicked. It's working for the Red Raiders. Two to Masters. That one hurts. Off the foot without the Evo shoe. You've been there before, Keith.
Oh, at least it's warm. That's the important part. A cold day, these really hurt, but you don't see the back foot very often. He's got protection on that front foot where he usually fouls it off, and he's got his one on the back.
Right above the Tech dugout. Has anybody broken through that threshold and gone with 2 Evo shields on both shins, both feet?
I think it would hamper your ability to run. Of course, some of us couldn't run out of sight for a week.
Anyways. So stay protected, right? Full count, Elliott.
7th 3-ball count. He had 2 in his last start against Harvard. 2 3-ball counts.
Well hit to right field. This ball is carrying. It's back, and it is gone. Cody Masters leaves the yard.
This back foot's feeling all right now. As it might have been hurting before the pitch, but not this one. 3-2 deliveries, up, out over the plate, and he puts a charge into it. Didn't get very high, but just rifled it out over the 380 sign in right center. Good extension. And right here, he knows he's got a hit, but he's not sure if it's left the park, and it gets out of here.
Home run number 5 for Cody Masters. And just a matter of time now, with the way Lyons is warming up, that he enters the ball game. As Elliott falls behind 2-0.
Jensen's been so good for this streak, this extended period of time, basically the second half of the season. And right now, a lot of these pitches are up at the belt. And he gets an out there.
So we are in day number 1 of the Super Regionals. These are the 16 teams that have worked their way through the regionals. Now they're doing a best of 3 head-to-head, 2 teams in every location for Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Winner to Omaha. They'll take on in the first game the winner between UCLA and Michigan. Swing and a miss for East and Morrell. A 3-0 lead here for Texas Tech. Morrell goes, and he's down 0-2. Now, the guy that Oklahoma State is warming up, Jake Lyons, was also clutch out of the bullpen. Played a key role in Oklahoma City for the Cowboys.
Well, he kept his team in the game in the Game 2 game against Nebraska, where they were down 5-0. Just gave them some great length out of the bullpen and allowed their offense to come back to win that game.
Career high in pitches in that outing as well. This is the second time that Texas Tech has seen Jensen Elliott. And either appearances have gone well here in Lubbock for 34. Seven earned runs in 2 innings pitched on April 26 against this Texas Tech team. Good glove there from Elliott. And that ends it. Texas Tech gets another one off the solo shot from Cody Masters. We'll talk to his head coach, Tim Tadlock, when we return to Lubbock. Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas, where Texas Tech has a 3-0 lead over Oklahoma State. Game 1 of the best of 3 Super Regionals. We now welcome in Texas Tech head coach Tim Tadlock. Coach, what do you like most about the way this Super Regional has started for your guys?
Well, we're up 3, and it's a 4. So, I mean, we'll take that any day of the week.
Coach, you talked to us about Micah, that Micah was a guy that wanted the ball. I thought that was a great thing you told us yesterday. He is just a young guy that, hey, give me the ball, but boy, he's come out and he's had great command of his slider.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. That's really what you want to see, him just pounding that strike zone.
And there's another first pitch strike there. Coach Tadlock will let you get back to work.
Thanks, guys.
Micah Dallas has been awesome. Just foul from Christian Funk. And Funk with the lone hit, a double to right field for Oklahoma State.
You know, there are young guys, Lowell, at certain times, even though they got good stuff, they're going, well, you know, I'm going to be perfect and feel right. This guy just says, give me the ball. I'll go pitch. And that's exactly what he's done. He's come out. He's attacked. He's been able to hit different parts of the strike zone. He's mixed his pitch as well. He's had better command of his breaking ball than I anticipated.
And what about the way he's played with the motion, but also kept it inside? We saw him erupt after striking out Morrell to open up the game, but it seems like he's keeping it in check when he needs to.
Well, you got to have emotions to play, but his mound presence is good. And his rhythm, he has maintained his rhythm. He likes to go quickly. He's got in the box, got his pitches, and attacked.
5 strikeouts, no walks for Micah Dallas. Dallas has emerged in the second half of the season as #1 in the rotation. The Friday night guy, Caleb Killian, projected to start tomorrow. The ball that's well hit, just way foul to the right side. Oklahoma State, though, is one of those teams, as you alluded to, Keith. You get a 3-0 lead, that changes so fast against this team.
Oh, they can. That's the ability to hit the ball in the ballpark.
Do you ever feel comfortable
not
with
when you
the lead?
Not
if
when
it's
you
single digits?
Not when you have it from top to bottom in the lineup. You've got a guy that can go deep, and 4 of them have double-digit home runs. 2 others approaching double digits.
That's down low. And the first walk issued by Dallas. So Funk, the leadoff hitter, aboard here in the 4th. It's going to bring up Colin Simpson. And Colin Simpson, now 11 strikeouts in the NCAA postseason this year alone. Just into the 5th game. Did have a key double early on against Harvard in the opener. He may set up Oklahoma State for success again. It's under the glove of Holt, and here comes Simpson motoring to second. Big boy showing off some of the agility and wheels. So the misplay by Holt in right field makes it from 1st and 3rd with no outs to 2nd and 3rd.
This Cowboy club, it can swing the bat, you get it up, and it's exactly what happened here. This ball was elevated. Simpson put a good swing on it, and then just the bobble. Simpson was hustling all the way to first. Great note for young players. You hit a ball in the outfield, you don't celebrate and say, I got a base hit. You got to hustle down the line. Well, his hustle to first base, and he rounded it, allowed him the opportunity to move up to second base. E9 on the play after the base hit.
Simpson had the first big hit of the regionals against Harvard that allowed Oklahoma State to get on the board. Will this be the first big hit, really, for the Cowboys in this Super? Depends on what Navigato does here.
Well, veteran hitter. Navigato, I watched him, seen him most of the year. You saw him right there. He was taking the shot to the right side. A ground ball to second base does 2 things here. One, it gets you on the board, and the other thing is it moves Simpson up from 2nd to 3rd. It becomes a really productive out. So you saw him take a shot at going the other way right there.
Big wave. And Navigato is down 0-2. 20th round pick by the Detroit Tigers. JUCO transfer originally from Riverside, California. He's plugged a big hole at shortstop for the Pokes this season. Stays alive.
Really short the swing up that time.
Well, even with the high strikeout numbers, we talked to Coach Holliday before the regional and just stressed that he doesn't like to strike out. They spend a lot of time on two-strike hitting.
Well, they do, but you're also got guys that what they bring to the table is the ability to hit it out of the park. You don't want to take all of that out of their hands.
Yeah. It's that great balance that you have to juggle as a head coach. Got a piece. Nasty pitch from Micah Dallas, though.
Well, this is the first time he's had any adversity in the game. So it's what pitching coaches and head coaches start watching. How's a young guy going to react to second and third, nobody out? He's got a 3-run lead. And right now, his reaction has been everything's been down. Everybody's been in a good location.
2 of Dallas's last 3 starts have gone 7 innings with no earned runs. Tim Tadlock will tell you he was actually more dominant coming out of the bullpen, but he's been more consistent as a starter. Navigatu fouls another one back.
He's hitting his spots right there. Horford wanted that ball up, and he got it in that right spot. See if he doesn't come back now with the hard slider. Maybe even off of the plate. See if he can get a strikeout here. See that open stance right there? But he closes it back up.
Strikeout number 6 for Micah Dallas.
Exactly what I was talking about, going back out in a great location, made it look like a strike. Gigantic pinch right here. See that downward tilt to it? And had him reaching.
And this is Trevor Boone. Also strikeout victim his first time up. First team all Big 12 selection. 20 home runs. That monster shot we were telling about against Nebraska. Number 20 on the season. First pitch strike.
You've got to make an adjustment as a hitter. Yes, you've hit 20 home runs. You've done some stuff. You got to put it in play right here. Red Raiders are surrendering a run on a ground ball. Got to make contact.
First Cowboy since Corey Brown with 20 home runs in the season. Brown had 22 in 2007. Good spot from Dallas. Not much that Boone could do with that one if he pulled the trigger. He watches it, and it's called for a ball. And is this the defensive alignment you like to see with the infield giving up that run?
Oh, yeah. You got a 3-0 lead. You want outs right now. You'd exchange it. But if you make pitches like that, you're not going to have much contact. That's a dynamite breaking ball right there. But you play back. You move a 300 hitter at the plate, you move everybody in, it becomes a 400 hitter because you just give him more gaps to get through. So stay back. Try to limit the damage.
Up the middle, Oklahoma State will get on the board. Simpson thinking about the second run, he will score. And Oklahoma State responds off the bat of Trevor Boone.
I tell you what, this is a great adjustment by Trevor Boone. He knew he was going to get breaking ball. This is a good location. That ball's pretty much down. He stays on it, back through the box, catches it out on the end of the bat. See, tried to do everything Klein did to get to it, to knock it down, to save that run, but couldn't. And just like that, we're right back in the ball game.
We go back to the misplay out and right, which allowed Simpson to move up from first base to second, put him in scoring position. thus allowing him to score on that single up the middle.
Now let's watch the reaction. How does the young guy on the mound react to that? They finally have gotten to him. They hit a pretty good pitch right there. Does he stay in his game plan and keep attacking? Something you start to watch, especially as a pitching coach.
20th pitch of the inning. Swing and a miss from Bryce Carter. Grad transfer from Stanford.
Which he doesn't use very often. Straight change there.
So Dallas with 19 in the first, a combined 21 in the second and third. And his most difficult inning so far, 21 pitches now, and 2 runs across. Oh, they got the runner picked off. Boone's in no man's land. Warren working the pump fakes, does not give it up. They're able to pick off Trevor Boone for the second out.
This is a mistake, no question. I think Boone was thinking about running, but he was caught in the middle of no man's land. Micah Dallas has a really good move. He just got caught out in the middle of nowhere. Warren, if you don't have to throw it, it's a good note for young players that when you get a runner in a pickle. If you don't have to throw it and you can get it out, why throw it?
Also good for Warren to go get that off the turf.
Yeah, he made a nice pick. He didn't panic.
So it's 1-1 to Carter. Make that 1-2.
Good location that time. Slider down and under the hands. Bounce it on his back foot. Really nice job of coming back and staying in the moment, because you can really get let down when I had a 3-0 lead. I let them back in the game.
That's well low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saw Carter enter as a pinch runner. Oklahoma City Regional. It was a guy that was in the lineup in that TCU series. And we talked about it a little earlier, suffered a concussion, but now he's back. So Boone gets 2 on the board for Oklahoma State, makes it a 1-run game. We'll talk to Josh Holliday, head coach of the Pokes, when we return. Welcome back to Lubbock. Oklahoma State now on the board. It's a 1-run game in the rematch between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. This time in the Supers, we now welcome in the head coach of the Cowboys, Josh Holliday. Coach, it's clear that Jensen Elliott, he's had to work through some trouble. So let's focus on that aspect of it. How has he been when he has found trouble?
Well, he's had to work through it, as you said. He's been in some tough situations here. They got awfully good hitters, and they got some guys who can really work in at bat and grind you out a little bit and throw him out.
Heck of a play by Navigato, just not in time.
Yeah, so anyway, to your question, how has he handled that? I think he's handled as best he could. He left him loaded with Josh Jung up at the plate in the 1 inning, so he showed great composure, sticking with his plan there against probably one of the best hitters in the country. And then, we got to do something on offense. We started to that last inning to claw back into this thing, but it's going to be a dogfight. These guys are good.
Yeah, I thought that really good, solid at-bats, too. When you lead off, a guy gets 3-2. Yep. Talk to us about offensively, about what y'all got to do offensively against Micah Dallas.
Well, his slider, Keith, is hard to pick up the spin, as you can probably tell from the booth. Some of the swings and some of the locations of the pitches, they're having a hard time deciphering the difference between the slider and the fastball. And so when a guy's throwing a slider in the upper mid-80s and it has the same general spin out of the hand as the fastball does, and his fastball is good, then a hitter gets his body started to the ball. We just have to keep fighting. I mean, all you can do is pull your helmet down a little bit lower, trust yourself a click longer, and compete as hard as you can. Other than that, the kids are giving us everything they got. You just got to sit here and fight and pitch to pitch, which that's what baseball this time of year is.
And that's what you guys have done all season, win and come from behind fashion. Coach, we appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So Braxton Fulford Leads off with an infield single. It was a nice play by Navigato. Would have been close to impossible for him to recover and make that play.
He made a great effort, tried to get to it.
So this is Gabe Holt. Drew a walk last time up. 20 of the 39 wins for Oklahoma State. They've trailed early and have come from behind. 2-2 to Holt.
It's a real test for Elliott right here. You ask Coach Holliday, he's been grinding. He hasn't had his best stuff. His team has got him back in it. Now, can he come out here and make that move to get his team into the 6 before you go to the bullpen?
Holt down the line right into the middle of Garcia. He throws to second, and it hits Fulford in the back, and he will be safe.
Well, it takes you back to the bag. Your job as a first baseman, if the ball, when you come off the bag and the ball's hit back to your left and you have to come back to the bag, you can see him come off here. As he comes off, it's sort of back to the bag. So got to get that out first, throw down to second. It was going to be close, but it just hits him right in the back. But get that out first. If it takes you back toward the bag, make sure you get that lead out. And you got not the lead out, but the back out first.
This brings up Dylan Noisy, the man that got Texas Tech on the board. Took a single up the middle with 2 outs to drive in 2 runs. Another RBI opportunity for Noisy. Did not play the first 2 games of the regional here, dealing with a hamstring injury. Simpson bodies that one up.
It has been a battle. These 88 pitches that Elliott has thrown have all been a battle. He just hasn't had he's just competing on experience right now.
Fouled out of play. And this was Noisy against Elliott last time up in the 2nd inning. 2 strikes on him. Takes it up the middle. Elliott couldn't get his glove on it. That scored 2.
That's from a 1-2 count. They'll work back to a 3-2 count and then out an elevated fastball.
3 walks that inning for Jensen Elliott. Takes something off of it. And man, Noisy was absolutely fooled.
Great changeup right there with great arm speed on it. Way out in front.
Simpson is able to keep the runner at bay.
Nice play. That's a nice play. Just able to get his glove on it's one thing, but the ability to know where it is and keep it close enough, not let that guy advance. Hard to get your glove on it, yes, when it bounces, but be able to pounce on it that quickly.
Turn that glove over just in the nick of time. And you talk to Simpson about the difference, plays like that with dirt and with turf.
Yeah, he said yesterday when I asked him, I said, not any different. I don't really feel any different. He says the one that's a little different is when a guy really spikes one way out in front of you, maybe 3 or 4 feet. It has a tendency to take a little more of the spin bite. He said, but up around you, I really don't notice much difference between the synthetic and the dirt.
Elliott walks his 4th batter. Now you got the heart of the Texas Tech lineup. Klein, Young, Warren. Only 1 out. So Jake Lyons has been up continually, warming up the arm.
Yeah, he's ready to go. I mean, it is a scorching hot day.
I want to point out that Jensen Elliott is not at 100 pitches right now. We're having some graphic difficulties. He's at 94 pitches, but getting to that century mark. "1-0 to Brian Klein. He's singled and walked to right field, just off the glove of Garcia. Fulford rounding for home, and it's first and third, and now a 2-run lead for the Red Raiders. And Alex Garcia just missed that baseball.
Ball was up in the zone. Let's start with that. This ball just rifled. Garcia takes a shot at it. Gets to see it from the side. He hits it right on the button. And Garcia tries to climb the ladder and come down with it just off the end of his glove. Runners now at first and third. And that's an answer. When you're the Red Raiders, you're looking at, all right, they got 2, they got us close, but they come right back and answer there, and still just 1 out in the inning.
And with the way that Noisy was coming off the base, Garcia makes that play, the inning's over. That's a double play.
Oh, it's a double play if you can hold on to it.
And as you said, that was hot off the bat of Brian Klein. And here is Josh Young. Second time up to do some serious damage. Last time up, 3 aboard. He popped out to second base. Now he's got runners on the corners. 1 out. Number 8 overall pick, only Blade at Vandy, was picked higher and is currently playing in the Super Regionals. Young's father, the only hitting coach he has ever known. Tim Tadlock tells the story when he was dropped off for his unofficial visit. They opened up the back of the pickup truck and tees fell out. All sorts of hitting devices fell out of that pickup truck because it has been a long grind for the Young family. Called strike to make it 1-1. Said it was so emotional, that first call with his father. That conversation that followed after hearing his name called as a number 8 overall pick. Of course, the commish announced his name, Josh Jung, and he got a good laugh out of that. And it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time, but his last name, J-U-N-G, pronounced Young. Keeps this up, it will be household before he knows it. Now Elliott at 100 pitches. Up the middle, Navigato checks his options, and it's a hard out.
I had to go after him right there. Interesting way that, you know, when you go after a guy, you got to have a game plan. And as you look at the pitches right here, how they go after Young, and they start him out with a fastball, misses away, come back with a fastball for a strike, and then a miss again with the fastball, and then fastball right there. Not a breaking ball in the at-bat. All staying away from Young that time after they had crowded him his first 2 at-bats.
Here's Cameron Warren. They set up Warren outside, misses the spot, and it's 1-0. Warren with a line out to third, a fly out to right.
Both have been on the barrel. A bullet to third and right on the warning track his last time up.
22nd round selection by the Reds. So that will be his home. The minor league organization, once his Texas Tech career comes to an end, the question is, will it end here in Lubbock or in Omaha?
Well, don't throw a cookie in right here. Tim Tadlock will turn him loose here, 3-0. Not every time, but you gotta make sure that you make a good pitch here. He was taking.
75 driven in by Warren, 8 of them in a Lubbock Regional. So leads the Big 12 with those 75 RBI. First team all Big 12 selection at first base. Pops it up. Jensen Elliott gets the pop up, and it's trouble off the glove of Boone. 1 run scores. The play at the plate, Simpson with the tag. And they're going to call that out. McCline is saying he beat the tag. But another run is on the board after that was dropped by Boone in center field. That was a tough play. It was a long run in between 3 Oklahoma State defenders.
We're going to have a review here. This comes back, and it would be the tag at the plate. We get an opportunity to see it again. This ball was off at the end of the bat. When it's off the end of the bat in the outfield, gets away from Boone, and then you see Simpson coming back here as we get an opportunity to see a replay. Ball was definitely there. Was the tag made on the upper part of the body before the right hand got to the plate?
Brian Klein is stating the case. He's contorted his body enough to get the right hand in without Simpson actually tagging him. And he may have a strong case here. So it'll need to be indisputable because the call on the field is Simpson did apply the tag and Klein out at home. Keep in mind, 1 runner still crossed. As Noisy was able to score the 5th run. Question is, will it be 5-2 or 6-2? And you know what? On that look there, Klein looks like he beats the tag. There is no tag. And the right hand of Klein hits the plate.
Didn't see how much the glove is in the upper part. Get a chance to see it from this angle, a little bit different angle. Simpson get there. To get on his body right there before that right hand gets in there.
Well, you can see Simpson keeps extending.
So contact right there, though, just in the top shoulder. Hard to tell right there. Just want to get it right as best you can. Could be a long delay here. Cowboys still out on the field at this point.
So 3 ways the reviews can be triggered. It can come from the DB Sport Replay Center in Pittsburgh. It can come from a coach's challenge, and it can come from the umpires, the crew here in Lubbock. They will need that indisputable evidence to overturn this one. Called on the field as an out, which would be the 3rd out of the inning. I think this one's getting overturned. Do you see the tag before his right hand?
I don't see enough to overturn it, the call out, but that's my but we see it 2 different ways. That's why it's taking a while for this review to.
We had an
This is a play. This is a play,
City,
though, that you go back to. It is a mistake. Got a chance. You got out of the inning. Jensen Elliott was out of the inning. Got a pop up. 3 different guys had an opportunity to get to it. Gets off of Boone's glove and turns into at least 1 and not 2. And the inning may be extended. If he's safe, obviously, 2 will have scored in the inning and still just 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, you're right, though. Not much more you can ask for Elliott in that situation to get Young and Warren, both with 2 guys on base. Could have blown this wide open. Got the line out to shortstop. Fly ball out to center field. It was in the glove of Boone and then out. Throw came home to Simpson as Klein tried to score from first, and we're going to have the call. And so that is overturned. 2-run score, and it's 6-2 Texas Tech.
Instead of out of the inning, you give them a couple of extra and still have to get another out here for the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
This is Cody Masters, last time up. Took one to right field for the home run. Solo variety. First pitch strike after the review from Jensen Elliott. It's now at 106. It has not been a perfect start for Elliott, but had done enough by getting Young and Warren to get out of the inning until that ball was dropped. Back-to-back strikes here to Masters.
.110th pitch from Elliott.
Close play at first, and he got him. Jensen Elliott returns the favor after Micah Dallas got Trevor Boone over there. Elliott was able to get Warren, but Texas Tech is able to add. Elliott with the pick. This guy's going to have to play from behind a little longer. It's 6-2 Texas Tech. Local Indo here with Keith Moreland, Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park on the campus of Texas Tech. It is a Big 12 matchup. The final two teams from the conference still playing that survived the regional round. Only one will go to Omaha. Good news, one is assured to go there. Texas Tech with the early edge, 6-2, as the Red Raiders have won 7 in a row in this series against Oklahoma State, dating back the past 2 seasons. Micah Dallas has been excellent.
Good change right there.
7 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Oklahoma State was able to get 2 the last time up off the bat of Trevor Boone. Here's Josh Young. Collects and throws. So we had a lot of time to look at Brian Klein, Colin Simpson at home, but what set up that play is the misplay in the outfield off the bat of Cameron Warren. And this could have and probably should have ended the inning.
Well, you have 3 Cowboys right there. You can see Cabanis pull off at the last minute, and Boone couldn't secure it. And then the play at the plate, you secure that ball, all of a sudden you look up, it's a 4-2 ball game. And much different field than 6-2, because Cowboys are going to have to go to the bullpen in the bottom of this frame, and they haven't had but 1 inning where they've done any damage against Micah Dallas.
Big swing and miss from Alex Garcia. And then on the tail end, it was close at home. You're still not sure this should have been overturned?
Well, I'm not sure. As a catcher, I think right there, I think he had contact. The hand is, it's not like a base. The hand a lot of times goes over the top of the bag and never hits the bag. I just not sure I saw enough to overturn that, but there's people that are a lot higher pace skill than I have.
You do have your readers on as well, so that tells you something about your vision. Garcia skies it. Dylan Noisy is just saying, I'm going to stop jogging. That is a bomb for Alex Garcia, his 2nd home run of the NCAA tournament.
Well, he's got tremendous power, and this is a no-doubter. Ball up in the zone. Garcia puts a charge in this big time. Elevated, and that extension right there. I mean, it's a no-doubter. When it left the bat, that was just to see how far it was going to go.
And with that, Alex Garcia now has 8 home runs on the year. It was the Cowboys' leading hitter in Big 12 play with a .321 clip. Cade Cavanis. And it's 2-0.
The Cowboys are on the road here, no question. Difficult place to play, great environment going on, but this ballpark is a lot like Allie P. Reynolds in Stillwater in the sense that it's a hitter's park. Ball gets out of here. There's very little breeze here today. It's a hot day. The turf's over 100 degrees. Ball's going to get elevated, and they're going to get out of the ballpark. So it fits what they do in the sense a lot better than, let's say, the Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. I mean, Coach Holliday told us yesterday about the fact is, this ballpark fits us better than the regional ballpark.
It's probably 5 balls in Holliday's estimation that would have been out at Allie P. Reynolds that did not get out at Chickasha Bricktown Ballpark. So this is game 1 of the best of 3 Supers, Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. On this side of the bracket, UCLA and Michigan, starting tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. And once we sort it all out, we have that field of 8 in Omaha. Winner of UCLA Michigan will open up the winner of this one, Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. So a quick talk to Micah Dallas. He was trailing Cade Cavanis 2-0, and whatever said worked. He gets a swing and a miss to make it 2-1. Dane Havman now warming up for Texas Tech. They didn't have to use the bullpen all too much as they went 3-0 in a Lubbock Regional. But it is a deep bullpen with some electric arms that got the attention of major league teams in the most recent draft. So that was a really good talk on the mound because Cavanis goes down on strikes, but Dallas delivering 3 strikes in a row after that conversation. 2 now.
All three with a hard breaking ball. Cavanis still thinking he might have made contact on this. It didn't look like he made contact. Ball definitely gets away. He's down on strikes. Get a chance to see it from the side view. He didn't make contact. So 8th strikeout of the game for Micah Dallas.
Top of the lineup, another wave from Houston Morrill. Been a tough road lately for him. Got hit in the hand in the Big 12 championship. Missed about a week of practice and was questionable to even play in the Oklahoma City Regional in the first game. He was okay. Got the start at second base, but was hit twice in that regional, once in the hand as well. But Coach Holliday gave him a clean bill of health and says, young guy is ready to go. Will be the shortstop of the future for Oklahoma State. Manning second base as a freshman right now. He's down 1-2 to Dallas. Back-to-back strikeouts following the mound visit for Micah Dallas. 9 strikeouts on the afternoon for the freshman, and it's 6-3 Tech. Chris, thank you so much. You got J.J. Blade there from Vanderbilt, the top pick that's playing in the Super Regionals here in Lubbock. You have Josh Young, the number 8 overall pick for Texas Tech, the number 2 player drafted playing in the Supers. Jake Lyons now. We had an opportunity to see him up close in Oklahoma City. When he entered, it was a pivotal situation in the winner's game against Nebraska. Struggled early, but then really extended his outing to give Oklahoma State a chance to come back and get that win.
Well, the bullpen for the Cowboys was the reason that they're here in the regional. They were 13 1/3 innings, allowed just 5 base hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs. They walked 2. They struck out 15 or 18, somewhere in that neighborhood.
18 strikeouts for the bullpen. Cody Masters lifts it to left. McCusker is there and makes the play. So his battery mate is Colin Simpson. And Colin Simpson, he's like a
tank
ball of energy.
That's his nickname.
He's a tank. And you see those gymnasts, they're like, wait, I could see how Colin Simpson was at in his former life, and he was. He was a competitive gymnast to the point where he says if he would have stayed with it, that he could have been an Olympian. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that, how good he was, but we know this was Simpson. He can pull off a backflip, and he talks a good game too. So I would probably believe him in that conversation because he sells anything he talks about.
Listen, a unique ability.
This should get down in the gap. It does. Wilson looking for two, and he's got two standing up. Kurt Wilson with his second base knock of the afternoon.
You come in out of the pen, you're seeing a new guy, you watch him warm up, and then a breaking ball right here just does not hit his spot. Lefts it up, leaves it up. Wilson makes him pay for it, just rifles it into the gap in left center.
Second extra base hit for Texas Tech. They have that double in the Masters home run. They've also drawn 4 walks. 3 of them in the second inning alone when Tech got on the board. Easton Morel 0 for 2. Nice spot to make it 0-2.
Well, one of the things Lyons, he has really good command. He can hit his slider to both sides of the plate. He'll mix in a changeup. He's usually got really good control with his fastball as well. They made a mistake with the slider there, but he's come back, and he's been that guy that can give you some length out of the bullpen.
Chopped. Fielded in fair territory. What a play over at third base from Christian Funk. Yes, he did.
It is the most difficult play a third baseman has to make, to charge and have to go to your right when you got to throw back across your body. You can see him on the move right there. Accurate, strong throw. That's a tough out to get. It definitely was a fair ball.
That is next level by Funk at third base. So Oklahoma State defense, it gave us some good moments in Oklahoma City with their defensive play.
Defense has been a major player today. Inability to catch a fly ball has really changed where this game, instead of a 4-3 ball game right now, you got a 6-3 ball game.
Fulford is the number 9 hitter. Inside. Wilson now on third. Lines on the bump. 22nd round pick by the Colorado Rockies. Junior from Irving, Texas. Low strike to Braxton Fulford. Fulford has a single and has walked. Scored twice.
Yeah, the bottom of this lineup scored 4 times.
The biggest moments, it's been young and worn up. And there hasn't been too much to show for it in terms of driving in runs. As Fulford swings through that. One exception is when they thought they had Warren. It was the play in center field, which ended up scoring 2 runs off the air. Fulford fouls off that breaking ball. Two from Lyons. Another chance for Funk. And he brings it. Christian Funk doing it on the defense. He will lead up Of course, it always works out that way. 6'3" Tech.
To make it back to Omaha would be it'd be surreal. I mean, you know, you go out in the beginning of the year and that's what you set your goal to be as a team. You set your goal to be to win a national championship. I mean, I know I would be extremely excited to start my career at OSU, making it to Omaha, and to end my career at OSU, making it to Omaha it'd be surreal and it'd be an incredible feeling.
That would mean so much more for Colin Simpson as well, because did not play as a freshman. Instead, he was a guy that was taking care of the mascot T-Rex plastic figurine that the team found on the side of the road during their postseason run that ended up in Omaha in 2016. Now he is the guy that makes Oklahoma State go. He is due up second this inning as the Cowboys are down 6-3. Logan Galindo here with Keith Moreland. The afternoon is done for Micah Dallas at a career-high 9 strikeouts. So Dane Havman in from the bullpen for Texas Tech.
Yeah, very deceptive. He has 4 pitches, 88, 87, not going to overpower with the fastball. He's got a change, slider, and a curve. Very difficult to see, especially for left-handed hitters. They do not pick the ball up out of his hands.
Second appearance for Haveman against Oklahoma State. Went 2 2/3 on April 26. 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and no walks. So Haveman also followed Micah Dallas in that first matchup between the two teams, as he does this afternoon.
Just to close out the book on Micah Dallas. We'll give it to you after this delivery.
Out of play. Or is it? Coming back in, and Fulford makes the catch. Good thing Braxton Fulford didn't give up on the play like I did.
And once it goes in the air, it's always going to come back toward home plate. Stays in the park, gets the out. To finish up on Micah Dallas, 81 pitches, 57 strikes, 15 of 19 first pitch strikes. So he was ahead of 15 of 19 hitters, and he retired the Cowboys of the 19 outs he recorded. He did 11 of them in 4 or less pitches, so very efficient as well.
Turns it over to the Texas Tech bullpen. Tim Tadlock told us that this is a bullpen that is set up to really shine in extended series. Meaning, in a place like Omaha. Didn't get to show it off as much in the regional round because it only went 3 games and they got fantastic starting pitching. But the longer series goes, that's where Texas Tech feels like they have an advantage. Simpson down on strikes, his second this afternoon. You're watching NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Logan Galindo here with Keith Moreland. Dan Law Field at Rip Griffin Park. Lubbock, Texas, home of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, where they are facing Oklahoma State for the 4th time this season at this park. Means even more now with the trip to Omaha and the College World Series on the line. First pitch swinging is Navigato. Into the mid of noisy 1-2-3 inning for Havman out of the bullpen. Texas Tech opened up a 3-0 lead over Oklahoma State. Cody Masters with a solo home run, his 5th of the year. That made it 3-0. And it looked like Jensen Elliott was going to get out of the 4th with only allowing 1 run as he gets the pop fly to center off the bat of Cameron Warren. Also dangerous, but it's in and out of the glove of Trevor Boone. That allowed 2 runs to score, although the final run initially ruled an out but overturned after a lengthy replay. So that made it 6-2 Texas Tech. Oklahoma State responded with an Alex Garcia home run, and it's a 6-3 game here in Lubbock as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
A big inning for Jake Lyons. He's top of the order. First time he's faced him. See if he can get through this. Because you can ill afford to give up many more right here and think you're going to come back. This team, the Cowboys, have been good all year at coming back in ball games. There's no doubt about that. But you start giving a team like Texas Tech 3, 4, 5-run lead, it'll be difficult to get back in it.
20 of the 39 wins for Oklahoma State this season. Comeback variety. 2 of those in Oklahoma City. Holt pops it up. Morrill gives way to Cavanis for the first out. Sunday Night Baseball, one of the best rivalries of baseball. The Cardinals and Cubs play the series finale at the friendly confines. Keith Moreland here, former Cubs standout back in his day.
I can tell you that is an interesting series. It's one of the best rivalries in professional baseball. There will be a lot of red at Wrigley, I can tell you. Cub fans will be there, but there's a lot of Cardinal fans there as well.
How about seeing former Cardinal, 7-time All-Star Matt Holliday with his brother Josh yesterday in practice. His playing career is done. He's moved back to Oklahoma State into Stillwater, where he grew up. And it's cool to see the brothers coming back together and the families here together in this pivotal game for Josh Holliday and the Oklahoma State programs.
It's always nice to lean back if you're Josh and talk about some of the things that are techniques and hitting and things that are going on at the next level. Maybe move those into the college level. Matt Holliday moving back to the Stillwater area.
He's out there in center, shagging some fly balls as well.
His 2 boys here with him.
From looking at them, you can tell there's going to be some more Holidays very soon working their way up the baseball ranks. Full count to Dylan Noisy. Swing and a miss. Lyons gets the strikeout. So the Holidays know all about Oklahoma State. Tom Holliday, longtime assistant turned head coach at OSU from 97 to 2003. He coached Josh. Matt went pro out of high school, 7-time MLB All-Star, and Josh Holliday, player and head coach, one of 7 to reach Omaha as a player and as a coach. Josh Holliday did it in the Big 8, in the Big 12, at catcher and at third base. Fantastic player in his playing days. That's a good lineage. Good to have Oklahoma State with all of them coming together to play a pivotal part in this history of this program. Because you know, even though Matt didn't play there, he's going to be so involved with him now living in Stillwater. It's Holiday, 7 seasons on the job. Every season, they've made it to the regional. Is Funk going to do it again? Yes, he will.
That's a big-time play. That might be better than the other play. Going hard to his right, comes up, makes the throw across the diamond, and gets the out.
Lo Galindo here with Keith Moreland from Danlaw Field at Rip Griffin Park. This is Lubbock, Texas, site of the Super Regionals and the final 2 teams standing from the Big 12, Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. One will go to Omaha. Texas Tech trying to make it 8 straight wins in this series against Oklahoma State. They got the series sweep here in Lubbock earlier this year. 4,732 on hand, a sellout, top 10 largest crowd in Texas Tech history. First pitch swinging, and that had the distance but foul. And Keith, pivotal inning right here for Oklahoma State.
I really feel like this is that inning, and the bullpen is up and still working for the Red Raiders, but you've got two big right-handed hitters in Boone and McClusker right here, and Garcia right here in a row, and the left-hander on the mound. And this is an inning where you can get a guy on a bloop. They need a bloop and a blast to get them back in the ballgame.
Oklahoma State perfectly capable of that. Fouled back off the bat of Trevor Boone. Got a misplay in center. It's picked off in first. But before all of that, got Oklahoma State on the board with a 2-run single up the middle. Haveman on the mound for Texas Tech. Worked quickly last inning, getting Funk, Simpson, and Navigato in order on only 7 pitches. Oh, 2 to Boone. Second strikeout for Haveman. For more coverage of the Division I baseball tournament and interactive brackets, go to NCAA.com. See the brackets, keep up with the scores real time as we are going from 16 down to 8. As in a matter of a few days, we'll have that field for Omaha set, as Oklahoma State hopes to be there for the first time since 2016. Texas Tech has never lost to Super. It would be their 4th trip in 6 years to Omaha. This is Bryce Carter, 1-0. Haveman hits the spot to make it 1-1.
Well, he's coming and throwing strikes and mixing pitches. We told you, a lot of times, Lowell, you don't see a guy out of the bullpen that has 4-pitch mix. But we've seen all 4 of his pitches, the curveball, the slider, the change, and the fastball, and he is deceptive. Hard to pick the ball up out of his hand.
And why is that? Why don't you see guys out of the bullpen with more in their repertoire?
Well, most of the time, guys out of the pen, you'd have to have 2 pitches to be successful. Sinker, slider, fastball, curve, that kind of thing, because it's hard to mix in it that 3rd or 4th pitch, because a lot of times you're not in there more than 4-6 batters when you come out of the bullpen. So you really don't need your full complement, but being able to do that, this pitch misses outside, but being able to do that mix makes it a little different. You just don't see it very often, because most of the time guys will settle on 2 pitches. I'm going to try to perfect 2 of them and get them as good as I can get them.
Well, Haveman looking good with his stash and the bleached hair, channeling that inner Louisville Cardinal, if you will, as we see Louisville all the time get to the postseason, bleach the hair. Haveman's bringing that look here to Lubbock.
That's that big sweeping slider right there.
Activity for Texas Tech as Taylor Floyd is warming up. 10th round pick of the Brewers, first team all Big 12 selection. So a key arm for Tech, getting ready to go. Good at bat here by Bryce Carter, making it tough on Haveman. Full count, 1 out. Carter's 0 for 2. Both those matchups coming against Micah Dallas. Well hit up the middle, 1 out single. And a nice at bat by Bryce Carter.
He has a good at bat facing lefty-lefty matchup. It's interesting here. Do you stay with him or go to Floyd? 2 right-handed hitters due here in a row. They're going to stay with him here.
Nope. Well, at least at the moment, there will be a visit. We'll see what Texas Tech does. You can see Haven was delaying a little bit to see exactly what the decision would be. Runner on first. Carson McCusker stepping up. Sports Center at 6 Eastern after PTI with Kevin in Bristol. Sage is in Oakland. We're going to preview Game 4 with the Warriors. Really in a must-win tonight against the Raptors. Plus how Carson Wentz's new deal impacts Dak. And the best comments from UFC 238's press conferences. Sports Center after PTI on ESPN and the ESPN app. So after the convo, Haveman stays in. Floyd continues to get hot. You think that could be to slow it down to get Floyd more time to get in?
It is a day where, Lowell, in 6 to 8 pitches, you're ready to go. They've thrown before the game. You've been in the bullpen. They're in the sun out there. When it's this kind of temperatures, it takes you long to get ready to go pitch.
So Haveman will stay in there for Carson McCusker. Looped. 3 Red Raiders trying to get it, and that's going to drop, and it gets past Holt for the second time. First and third, Oklahoma State with something cooking, and the outfield defense has been subpar by both teams this afternoon.
Big swing by big guys and outfielders playing deep. This happens a regular. He took a big hack. He got it on the end of the bat. Klein knew right there he couldn't get to it. Neither one of the outfielders could make that adjustment for being so deep. That was excellent base running by Carter. He was halfway. And when you're halfway, you can make that at bounce. Once he saw it bounce, he easily got around to third. And a great opportunity right now. And I think you'll see him move to the bullpen.
Tim Tadlock coming out, visit number 2. So that will mean that does it for Dane Haveman. This afternoon is done. Runners on the corners. 1 out. And entering will be Taylor Floyd for Texas Tech. Red Raiders up 6-3, game 1 of the best of 3 Super Regionals. Oklahoma State 1 swing away from tying this game here in Lubbock, and they're bringing up the man that showed us back in the 5th he's capable of doing that. Alex Garcia, high and long and gone. Second home run of the NCAA tournament. Solo shot that made it a 3-run game. Taylor Floyd now enters for Dane Haveman. Critical situation here with 2 on and 1 out.
Floyd, sinker slider guy, can touch 92, 93. Unusual arm slot down low. There's that slider we were talking about. He's got a good slider, very difficult to catch up to. He's got enough velocity too on the sinking fastball. Throws a lot of ground balls and gets a lot of strikeouts on that sweeping strike, especially the right-handed hitters.
4 1/3 in the regional. No hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts and 1 walk. Got the ball in the 5th and finished the game. Just enough. Blooped to the right side. Oklahoma State scores again, and it's a 2-run game. So not the blast that Garcia is capable of providing, but just enough to scratch across another run.
I believe he was trying to check his swing, guys. He was fooled on the breaking ball. And as he starts forward, right here you can see he's fooled. It tried to stop right there. Swing came all the way through, just hit it. Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, it's where you hit it. It's like selling real estate. Location, location, location. That found the outfield synthetic turf, drives in a run.
Just when you think Texas Tech is going to make the push to run away with this, Oklahoma State does just enough to scare you a little bit if you are the Red Raiders. And that brings up Jake Taylor of Major League fame. Yes, he also is a catcher. Pinch hitting here in place of Cade Cabanis. Sophomore from Shawnee, Oklahoma. Big moment for him. And it's 0-2.
That's a good sinker right there. You hit that, the only place you're going to hit is pounded into the ground.
Taylor did not play in the regionals. Well, this is his first trip up in this 2019 NCAA postseason. Another check swing. This one does not drive in a run, however.
But it keeps the at-bat alive, as he was really fooled too.
Oh, 2 from Floyd to Taylor. Taylor goes down swinging.
Well, he threw him a couple of fastballs. He went after him with the first one, slider, and came back with the slider back-to-back. Second one had him out in front. Great location. Starts it out making it look like a strike and breaks it off the plate.
Top of the lineup now, Houston Morrill. 2 strikeouts for him and a ground out to short. First pitch strike from Taylor Floyd. Morrill, a member of the All Big 12 freshman team. Driven in 17 with 1 long ball. Maybe the only player in this Oklahoma State starting 9 that is not a constant threat to leave the yard, although you've seen him, he's got some pop in that bat. 1 long ball on the season. He's down 0-2.
Something happened right there.
Floyd goes down.
Floyd goes.
Something is not right with Taylor Floyd. He took a knee immediately after delivering that pitch.
And he went down. It didn't seem to be an arm injury. It was more of his lower body. A chance maybe to see the end of this delivery again right here. He comes back, throwing the breaking ball.
Ooh. Did that left knee buckle?
Trying to walk it off right there. Looking for a baseball.
Floyd wants to stay in.
It was on his front side.
Well, you hold your breath in a moment like that. Floyd was so much going his way. He was just a 10th round pick by the Milwaukee Brewers. Junior from Frisco.
He has so much torque as he turns his body, Lowell, as he delivers, because he drops down his release points from the side. He has a lot of torque in the middle part of his body. It puts a lot of torque on his left land foot. But you see his numbers. This is in the regional against Dallas Baptist. You were just mentioning that those are pretty incredible numbers.
See those numbers, and Tadlock still said he had to work through some jams in that performance. I don't know where the jams are with no hits allowed. But he's got one here. 0-2, 2 outs. To Houston Morrill. Inside, and it's 1-2.
You really can't be pull conscious when you're facing the guy that's got this big sweeping breaking ball as a right-handed hitter. You got to protect inside some because that sinker coming in on your hands, but This is one of those things where you really can't get your front half of your body pulling away from the ball. You got no chance.
Morrill doesn't bite. See that movement on that pitch. So difficult, I would imagine, to lay off.
Well, he pitches from the third base side, and then he throws across his body, and it's an unusual arm slot. So it's starting out from behind you and coming all the way across the plate.
Morrill to left field. McCusker with the turn. He will wheel home, and like that, we've got a one-run ball game. 2 strikes, 2 outs. The freshman delivers.
Good adjustment here. As a hitter, you have to adjust. You've seen the breaking ball now. Starts out, stays in the middle of the plate. This one doesn't have that big sweep. It's also elevated. Cowboys have come back with a 2 spot here, right in this ball game. And this is what they bring to the table on a regular basis. You know, they can be down 4 or 5 runs, and it just doesn't bother them.
First pitch ball to Christian Funk, who has been tremendous defensively at third base.
He's got the ability to hit it out of here in any direction.
12 home runs on the season, and he waves through, and it's 1-1.
Well, that's a good changeup. We were talking about having the ability to mix that in. That's his pitch to left-handed hitters. Instead of the breaking ball, he goes to the changeup.
Way out, and it's 2-1.
It might be the best pitch of the at-bat as a hitter. You've seen the change, you've seen the fastball, you're ahead in the count. You can really look for a ball in a location in the zone that you can really drive. Great opportunity right here. 2-1 count.
And it's 3-1. The flamethrower, John McMillan, now getting warmed up. Twice recently clocked in triple digits here in Lubbock. Floyd tries to work out of this. Bends it back over.
He's had a big-time pitch right there. 3-1 breaking ball. Now as a hitter, you're not sure what's coming. Advantage, though, Cowboys. Runners will be off with the pitch.
Floyd trying to maintain the lead. And here comes the Tech fans. Bases loaded, 2 outs after the walk to Christian Funk. This is the big inning that Oklahoma State was looking for. And Colin Simpson. So the 2 leaders for these teams, Josh Young and Colin Simpson, will both have bases loaded opportunities. Young could not come through. Flew out to second base. Colin Simpson will try to do him one better and break this game wide open to give Oklahoma State the lead. 29th round pick by the Rockies. 3-time All Big 12 selection, and undoubtedly the guy that makes Oklahoma State go. Hitting .273 with the bases loaded. He's gone down swinging twice. Floyd painting the black, and it's 1-1. This is what postseason baseball is about. Got one of your top bullpen arms against the top bat for the opposition. Sellout crowd. Trickling to its feet. High leverage. And Lubbock. Simpson to center field. Noisy is back in front of the track. That response says it all. Left loaded. Floyd gets out of it, and Texas Tech maintains the lead.
Making it back to Omaha would just be another special moment for our team. We've had some ups and downs this season, and after getting there last year, there's a history here at Tech that we only make it on the even years. So trying to break that curse and just getting back to Omaha would just be so cool just for our team, get a lot of experience. We got a lot of guys that played there last year, so getting back and not just competing, but hopefully to win it.
Josh Young, team leader at Texas Tech, number 8 overall pick in the draft by the Texas Rangers. He's also made wristbands for his team that say next with an exclamation mark. The point being, let's get to Omaha and now start making some noise and a run to win a national title. But before that, got to get through this super regional round. First pitch swinging, high arcer, Trevor Boone going back. Boone is up, and it's left the yard. Josh Young responds with the solo shot. What a game, Keith.
Well, he stays inside the ball so well. We talked about having tremendous power the other way or in the center part of the diamond. Got a pitch that he can handle, and he's going to make you pay for it if you make a mistake. Well, that was a quick one. You can get right back, and all of a sudden now back to a 2-run lead.
Warren won it one as well. This goes straight up, but foul. Josh Young is what the Texas Rangers were looking at when they took him number 8 overall.
And again, a fastball, tried to get it in, didn't get it in, and he stays inside the ball so well. Great acceleration of the barrel of the bat.
Talk to me a little bit more about that with Josh Young.
Well, when you hear about guys that play golf and have lag, that lag in their swing. Well, if you can stay inside of it and accelerate, there's a bullet right at Funk. But what Young brings to the table is the ability to not have to create it with his shoulders where he's rotating off the ball. He has the ability to get it inside it and then accelerate with the strength in his forearms and his hands. And you don't hit a ball out of here dead straightaway center field. It's middle in, and that's exactly where that pitch was.
Committed to Texas Tech and Tim Tadlock as a sophomore. And I saw him develop into a guy that is looking into a can't-miss prospect. As Rob Walton taking the long, methodical stroll to chat with Jake Lyons.
Wow, they're going to make a move. But Lyons did a pretty good job. Again, 32 pitches, 24 of them for strikes. The only run that he yielded was the home run. When we come back, we'll give you the new pitchers. The Red Raiders, though, with another one on the board, lead here by 2.
You are watching NCAA Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Lauren Galindo here with Keith Moreland. in Lubbock, Texas. Game 1 of the best of 3 Super Regionals with Big 12 foes Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. The Cowboys, after trailing early 3-0, have come back with runs in the 4th, 5th, and the 7th. They got within a run, and then Josh Young unloaded to center field to put it back as a 2-run advantage for Texas Tech. So Jake Lyons, this afternoon comes to a close, and Keith, now Oklahoma State is going to the guy that they've dubbed their X-Factor in the bullpen, Peyton Battenfield, 9th round selection by the Astros. What do you think this says about them using him at this point in game number 1?
Well, you're behind. A lot of times you want to go get your guy when you've got a lead, but you're in this type of series where you win 2 games and you're in. You lose 2, you're out. So they're right in this ball game. You've got 6 outs left offensively. Cowboys are making the move to go get their guy who's been their most effective guy out of the bullpen, especially over the last month.
Yeah, we saw him twice in the Oklahoma City Regional. Ended up with 2 saves, including the clincher in the championship game against UConn. Went 5 innings pitched over those 2 appearances, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, and only 1 walk.
Such an even keel young man. He's got a great motion. You can't really decipher what pitch he's going. He looks identically the same after every pitch. He's got a fastball that, quite frankly, is sneaks up on you. It is in the 90s at times, but he's got great command of a change and a breaking ball.
First batter he sees is Cody Masters, who goes down swinging for the 2nd time.
This is that good breaking ball right here. Starts out, it comes out of the same spot. His release point for all 3 pitches, Lowell, and you've heard me talk about hitting before. If I can designate a different release spot, tells me a different pitch, I got a huge advantage as a hitter. But when a guy can repeat in that same spot and throw every pitch out of one spot, makes it more difficult to pick up.
So 1-1 count to Kurt Wilson. And Keith, as he said before, even though Battenfield is coming in, his guys are trailing, and we've seen it through the course of this game, Oklahoma State really has responded every time Texas Tech has made a surge.
Well, you're right. This is a good enough offense. It can get you 2 pretty quickly. And I think that's what you're looking at. You're right here in this game with an opportunity.
Battenfield does what Josh Holiday wanted him to do, get out of it. Does so with 2 straight strikeouts. But Josh Young leaves the yard, and it's a 2-run Tech lead.
NCAA Baseball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Day number 1 of the Super Regionals. Cross college baseball. 8 Super Regional sites, 4 of them start on this Friday. UCLA, Michigan, 9 Eastern on ESPN2. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Right now going to the 8th, 7-5 lead for Texas Tech. Duke and Vanderbilt in weather delay. Louisville, the 14-1 win over East Carolina. So Texas Tech responding with a Josh Young solo home run. And Red Raiders going to the bullpen. The flamethrower, John McMillan.
Well, he's a power guy, there's no doubt. He has registered 2 pitches this season at 100 miles an hour. It's nothing fancy. He's got to be able to command his fastball, though you look right down there. The one number that jumps off the page is he's almost allowed as many walks as he has hits this season. 30 hits, 27 walks. He commands his fastball and gets ahead of you. At times is unhittable.
Junior from Jasper, Texas, eastern part of the state. Detroit liked what they saw from McMillan, saw the velo, selected him with their pick in the 11th round at 96 on the gun. But a ball. Andrew Navigato leading off. He's 0 for 3. '96 again, so some giddy up from McMillan.
You know, both these teams are you understand the importance of game one of this series. Both of them are using every guy out of the bullpen they have. I mean, they're going to their people, knowing how important it is.
Chopped, the backhand. Morel cannot handle it. And so Navigato reaches.
Young infielders, you see a ball, staying back on it is usually a problem. And you can see he sort of stayed back. He had to back in. But if he could have come forward just half a step and got that in-between hop, been much better off than getting the top spin, because the second hop always has top spin after it's hit on the ground once. Took the big hop. Well, this is what you want, power against power.
You got Boone, the big banger, with 20 long balls on the season against the guy that's going to try to touch 100. High and tight to the chinny chin chin. Boone got Oklahoma State on the board. 2-run single up the middle in the fourth.
Well, in the Big 12 tournament, he faced a young man that was throwing 95, 96 mile an hour. Gomez from Nebraska. He turned that around. Now he's got to be sitting on dead red as a hitter. Fastball up and in, breaking ball low and away. You got a guy that's got high velocity. He's not going to go to a breaking ball here 2-0.
McMillan with a good frame, 6'3", 230. Making his 20th appearance, all out of the pen for the Red Raiders. Whoa. And it looks like Trevor Boone made contact with Fulford and immediately apologized. Did we see him do that in Oklahoma City as well?
He does. He has a big backswing because his backhand comes off of the bat, and it usually comes back around, and it has a long exterior backswing. And you know that as a catcher. It happens to you once, you back up a little bit.
You're right. Power on power with McMillan and Boone. Another chance. The glove and the ball goes flying. Heads up base running here. Navigato. No one covering third. No one covering second. And it's 2 runners on in scoring position. No outs.
Well, I tell you what. You tell me the ball wasn't hit pretty hard when it knocks your glove off. This was a rocket right at him. He's in position. He gets down, gets set. Here comes the missile right at him. He tries to get in position. Ball takes a hop. Not much you can do. And then right here, Boone understands it's away. And then right here, watch him see. There's nobody there. There's nobody covering second. So he can jog into second base. Now the tying run in scoring position.
That is ruled a base hit for Trevor Boone. Tough half inning for Easton Morel, who doesn't have a ton of playing time there at third base since transferring for Arkansas. Been seeing in this rotation, though, at third base more in the late season for Morel at Texas Tech. This is Bryce Carter, the DH. He's got a single to his credit up the middle. Very close to being 2 outs in Carter at the plate. Instead, nobody out, and a swing gives the Cowboys the lead. 4 long balls for Bryce Carter. He's missed time with a concussion. Suffered in the TCU series. After what was a really good start to Big 12 play for Oklahoma State, they struggled when Carter was out. And that ball is lofted. Josh Young with the run. Got to pick up the runner at third. Navigato will stay put, and there's 1 down. It's a big kid that can cover a lot of ground. He moves very well for his size.
He was in good position to throw when he got through it. When he got to it, made the play, turned and looked, no chance. Boy, that's ground ball to second base right there was what you were looking for. Score the runner from third, move the runner from second over. Now it's more than likely going to have to take a base hit to you to tie the ball game up.
McCusker and Garcia due up next. To left field. Wilson on it. Navigato tagging, and the cut is made And that cuts the deficit to 1 for Oklahoma State. Tremendous job all afternoon of answering. What they are looking for is the one swing of the bat to get them over the hump, get them back tied, or give them the lead.
Did a nice job to get back in it. Now the tying run 180 feet away. The other part of that is you just start to look at, they've turned this lineup over. That's what they do so much. They're going to have at least 2 hitters at the top of this order to get a chance in the 9th.
Really good afternoon for Alex Garcia. He's got the solo home run to left center. The check swing to the right side that also drove in a run. Trying to add. Fouls it off, and this was that home run back in the 5th for Alex Garcia.
Well, this is the first of 2, Lowell, that we've seen go over the batter's eye and dead straightaway, basically dead straightaway center field. These balls would just absolutely smash. One by Young, one by Garcia. And when your center fielder turns and just starting to look and doesn't run.
Not a good feeling as a pitcher?
Yeah, as a pitcher you're going, well, just give me a courtesy jog once or twice. When they hit it that far, you don't have to.
Conserve the energy. Garcia with 8 home runs. 9 would give the Pokes the lead. McMillan fools them.
That's that power breaking ball right there. You have to gear up to catch up to 100. And then he puts this wrinkle in, you're going to be out front, especially if it's down.
Upstairs, and it's 1-2.
Tried to overthrow that one, trying to make it too good a pitch. Got away with it, though, because he missed so high with it.
To Young, he gloves it. To first, Josh Young makes the play. The Capital One rewarding performance moments ago, Josh Young holding on to the baseball, and Texas Tech holds on to the lead. Tying run on second base, Josh Young making that transition this season from third base to shortstop. That's the spot he grew up playing. With the big frame, still looks good over there. In fact, since moving to shortstop, Texas Tech 20-6. As Tim Tadlock says, that man plays catch like a big leaguer.
And the other part, he understood the speed of the runner, took his time getting to his feet, set his feet to make the easy throw.
How about this game right here, partner?
Well, I think that this game comes down to this could be very well the biggest inning. If Battenfield can throw a 0 up here, this is what's important, because the Red Raiders are going to come back and keep attacking you.
Morrell leads off with a single. Let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio.
Batting for the Red Raiders, the catcher, Braxton Wolford.
Kevin, thank you so much. Morrell was the third baseman that had his glove literally ripped off last half inning. Tough defensively for him. He's come back to lead off with a single to right field. This is a number 9 hitter, Braxton Fulford. He's walked and singled. And there's a check on Morrell at first.
We're getting to that point about the reason you brought Peyton Battenfield into the game is you had to keep it right where it is. Now you're right back in the ball game. But you really need to throw a 0 up here. That way you're only chasing 1 in the 9th. Not seeing Fulford showing any kind of a bunt scenario. The play here, a lot of times in the ninth hitter at the plate and a leadoff single, is bunt. We haven't seen him any indication that he's going to do that.
And he got the top of the lineup, and Gabe Holt on deck. Outside for the second ball, 2-0.
If you want to be real aggressive, Tim Tadlock doesn't manage like this very often, but this is a great hit and run count. Battenfield's got to throw a strike here.
Fulford gets a piece. Second series between Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, conference foes this season. First time was here in Lubbock, and it was not pretty. Texas Tech outscoring Oklahoma State 27-8 to get the three-game sweep. In for a battle here in this best of three as Oklahoma State trailed early 3-0. They have come back. They have not tied the game, but continually getting within a run. Once they got within a run, Josh Young put a ball over the center field fence, made it a two-run game. Texas Tech not feeling satisfied, cranked up the defense with Josh Young after Oklahoma State played it a run to make it a one-run game. And Young with that defense at short, making sure it stayed there. 7-6 lead for Texas Tech here in the bottom of the eighth.
Another must throw a strike. Again, another scenario where start the runner here 3-1, have your hitter swing at a strike. Battenfield thinks he might be going.
Morrell has not attempted a stolen base this season, but he hasn't played a lot.
Well, Garcia makes a play right here that really changes the whole complexion of the inning. If he doesn't make it on the pick, that ball's down the right field line.
Swing and a miss. Full count to the number 9 hitter, the local kid from Lubbock, Braxton Fulford.
You haven't sent him in the entire at bat. I don't think you'll send him now.
Another check back by Peyton Battenfield. 5 throwovers. Checking on Morrell.
Yeah, he thinks he's wanting to run.
And that hits him. That did not sound good from up here. Fulford toughening it out. That's big.
Well, he's trying to get the fastball in there. Ball runs on him a little bit. Ooh, that catches him on the... Let's see if that caught him. I think he caught him on the elbow. Right on. Into the elbow.
That's old school. No protection there. Not wearing the body armor. Just wears it. So Gabe Holt, the leadoff hitter for Texas Tech. And the number.
All right. Definitely one of the best bunters in the Big 12. Rob Walton's going to go out. Make sure how many visits he has before he goes to the mound here. Check. I don't think he's going to remove him from the game. He just wanted to make sure that he can go out and bring how many he's been out there, because this is a defensive scenario. And all these collegiate teams will work on PFP, bunt defense. Cowboys yesterday, watching them in practice, spent a lot of time in this scenario because you can get an out here if you play good defense and bunt defenses. You got an opportunity to get an out on a force play at third base, because if Holt makes a mistake and doesn't have a good bunt, but I think it definitely calls for a bunt right here.
He's Keith Moreland. I'm Lo Galindo. We are here in Lubbock, Texas for the best-of-3 Super Regional. You got Texas Tech, the Big 12 regular season champ, going up against Oklahoma State, the tournament champ. Final 2 teams standing in the Big 12 conference, guaranteed one in Omaha, and it will be one of these teams. Top 10 all-time crowd here at Rip Griffin Danlaw Field. Series sold out in an hour. Oklahoma State trailed early 3-0. They fought valiantly back within a run. Had a misplay in center field. Should have been the third out to end an inning. And it ended up scoring 2 runs. Costly mistake. Texas Tech will try to add.
Wow.
Garcia way in. No bunt showed by Gabe Holt.
Wow. Really surprised by that. And Holt not happy with that pitch call. He thought the ball was away.
Gabe Holt, 7th round selection by the Brewers. First team All Big 12. One of the top table setters in college baseball. Here his job is to gobble up some runs. Get some insurance.
That defense will be back in their regular defense at double play depth now.
Holt down on strike. Simpson throws back to second. Goes off Morrell. But Morrell will stay put even though everybody in the stands wanted him to try for third base.
Yeah, Simpson comes up though right away and fires this ball to second. They were going to get a strike him out, throw him out on a non-steal situation.
How big is that strikeout?
That was gigantic, but Simpson knocks it down here. You can see the breaking ball in the dirt. Comes up right there. He's got him. He holds on to it and then tries to fire it down. If he just comes up and fires that ball back to second base, he's got an out.
It's going to bring up Dylan Noisy. He helped Texas Tech strike first. It was back in the second inning. 2 down, facing Jensen Elliott, singled up the middle to plate 2. Elliott got the start on the mound for Oklahoma State. Battle did not have his best stuff, struggled with command, but went into all the way through the 4th inning. Left with his team trailing by 4. Micah Dallas got the start at Texas Tech, struck out a career-high 9.
Getting Noisy back into this lineup is so important. He's such a constant in what he does. He's a guy that can drive in runs, hit the ball in the ballpark, but he also is a guy that gets on base a ton.
Simpson momentarily mishandles it, gets it back.
He's accounted for 105 runs. He scored 55, has Noisy. He's driven in 50.
414 OBP. Not shabby at all. Late on that, it's 2-2. Noisy was dealing with a hamstring issue in the regionals, did not play the first 2 games, but returned for the finale against Dallas Baptist, 3-0 win to ensure that Texas Tech would stay here for the Super Regionals.
Nothing more frustrating than a muscle injury in your legs.
Not much you can do.
Yeah.
Keeps it alive. Christian Funk, does he have another one? Tried to get it out of his glove, and Funk has made play after play at third base today. Could not quite get it clean out of the glove there. The speed from Noisy certainly did not help.
That's the part. This is a guy recovering from a hamstring injury. He looked like an Olympic sprinter going down the line right there. He got a good break out of the box. You can see, watch this break. He gets a good break right there, and he's running like he's not hurting at all. And then watching, he's going to umpire right there. He's safe. You can see those hands come out. And when Funk had to go in twice, no chance to get him.
So we're going to have a pinch runner. Max Marshak will run for Morrell at third base. They are juiced for Brian Klein, the number 3 hitter.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, the second baseman, Brian
Battenfield would love a double play right here because Josh Young is on deck. Klein first pitch swinging. Funk runs out of room. About 6 rows deep. Klein has been aboard 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. Ripped one right off the glove of Alex Garcia at first base to drive in 1 in the 4th inning. Klein can get overlooked in this lineup with Young and Warren hitting behind him, but he's driven in 51. Was a second team All Big 12 selection. Swing and a miss, and he's down 0-2.
Well, good pitch right there. Breaking ball in on the hands. Now he's way ahead of him. Got a lot of different options you can go to. This is when you need a strikeout.
Two singles and a hit batter. The reason why the bases are loaded.
Ooh, made a mistake, got away with it. Didn't get that quite upstairs enough, but got away with it.
The number 8 overall pick in the draft, Josh Young, is on deck. Fellow first team all-conference selection Cameron Warren will follow. 0-2. Battenfield delivers to right field. McCusker is there. The throw coming home. Marshak easily beats it, and that is a huge run for Texas Tech.
Well, the ball just kept carrying a little bit. McCluster was in a position lower. If he could have got his momentum going to the plate, but the ball carried so much on him, he had to reach up. And once he did that, no chance to get the speed going down the line. They're going to appeal that he left early. You got to come set, look in for the sign, and have time be set before you can appeal. Now he will look in. Batter will have to get into the box.
Did you see anything there?
It was close. It was close. Step off, and then you make the appeal. It's going to be safe. I thought he timed it very close. Now you got to change your mindset. And I think Josh Holliday would like to have this reviewed.
That's what he's looking for. And you see McCusker makes the play. Marshak, who was the pinch runner for Morrell, looked like he left on time.
They're going to take a chance to look at it again. He was off down the line. He saw the ball hit. He was headed back to the bag.
And if you're Holiday there, you need to ask for that to be reviewed.
Yes, you would love to have it a 7-6 game going to your last 3 outs. Get a chance to see it. He's on the bag right there. Ball and glove, and he's still on the bag. After getting an opportunity to see that again, he did not leave early. I don't think this will be a long review.
Now here's something to think about. The way some of these details work out. That throw from McCusker. Cade Cabanis has one of the best arms in right field in America. But he was pulled for a pinch hitter, Jake Taylor, in the 7th. Who knows if that's Cabanis out there in right field and he fields that cleanly.
We're going to have a pitching change here as Rob Walton is on his way out. He's going to go get his closer.
And so another quality arm being used here for Oklahoma State in a game in which they trail. Ben Leeper is going to enter.
When you look what Leeper brings to the table and what's happening here, you're looking at a guy that's got velocity and a hard slider. And that's the reason you make that move. How did we get here?
Well, Cody Masters stepped up in the third, found a pitch, got out of here pretty quickly, not by much. And that gave Texas Tech a 3-0 lead. In the fourth, Cameron Warren. This goes to center field.
Should have been out of the inning right here.
Trevor Boone in and out of his glove. That should have been the third out, like you said, Keith. But 2 runs score, and that is huge when you're talking about a 2-run game as it stands right now. In the fifth, Oklahoma State, they respond. Alex Garcia leaves the yard. That made it 6-4. Houston Morrill also in the seventh to left field. Makes it a 1-run game. 6-5, but Josh Young answers to center field and gone. Makes it a 7-5 game. In the eighth, with the tying run at second base, Josh Young, a fantastic play at shortstop. Now that holds on to the lead for Texas Tech. And they have gone on to add another here with a sac fly to right from Brian Klein.
Good offensive clubs find a way to answer. And look at that. The Red Raiders answered in the fourth, answered in the seventh, and now have answered in the eighth. The Cowboys have put runs on the board and maintained that lead.
And Ben Leeper will be the new pitcher for Oklahoma State. Saw him go 1 inning in Oklahoma City in regional play. No hits, no runs, struck out 1, no walks. Junior from South Lake Carroll. And welcome to the game. Oh, by the way, you've got to face the number 8 overall pick in the draft, Josh Young. Young with a single and a solo home run. He's been up twice in big RBI situations in the second and fourth. Did not come through a hit with the bases loaded in the second and with 2 on in the fourth. With the defense, that insurance home run. Right now figuring huge into this opener of the Lubbock Super Regional. Fulford on second, Noisy on first. First pitch ball from Leeper.
That's the hard slider.
This guy has done everything with his Texas Tech program. From San Antonio MacArthur, committed as a sophomore. Rangers picked him 8th overall 3 times. The All Big 12 selection. This year's Co-Conference Player of the Year. Lived up to the hype. You know it's got to be tough when you come in as the preseason pick to win that award and live up to those expectations. But the model of consistency in the middle of this lineup for Tim Tadlock. He's been hitting since day one and has not faltered. To right field. McCusker going back. It's carrying, and the 6'8" McCusker makes the catch right at the yellow stripe. And boy, that got the fans here in Lubbock thinking about more. Will 2 be enough? 9-1-2 coming up. Tech 3 outs away. Kevin, we appreciate it. Got a great matchup here with 2 Big 12 foes going head-to-head, toe-to-toe. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. 9th inning we go with the Red Raiders holding on to the 2-run lead. The Red Raiders undefeated when leading after 8. Oklahoma State 3-14 when trailing Going into the ninth, Max Hewitt will pinch hit in the number 9 spot. He's been one of the most clutch bats, a team player for Oklahoma State. When Houston Morrill took over at second base, Hewitt went to the bench, did not complain. First pitch strike by John McMillan. Hewitt, a junior from Canada. Holiday says he's at his best when the team needs him the most. As a walk-off home run against OU and a pinch hit home run against Baylor to his credit this season.
Right now he wants to be a base runner. Any way he can reach first base. And that all of a sudden gets the top of the order with the tying, or as the tying run at the plate.
Oklahoma State is not led in this game. Texas Tech has maintained the lead ever since striking first, with Dylan Noisy driving in 2 in the second inning. Swing and a miss for Max Hewitt.
Got a pitch to handle, just couldn't catch up to the velocity.
Oklahoma State able to get in within a run in the 7th and 8th. Just have not been able to get the one to get them over the hump.
Fought off a nasty pitch right there.
Cowboys had the bases loaded in the 7th with 2 outs. Colin Simpson, their leader, flew out to center field. Hewitt down on strikes. Straight gas from John McMillan. We'll have Game 4 of the NBA Finals from Oracle tonight on ABC and the ESPN app, with the Raptors up 2-1. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Top of the lineup now, Houston Morrill, the leadoff hitter for Oklahoma State. 2 strikeouts, a ground out to short, and a single to left. They got Oklahoma State within 1. That was back in the 7th. Texas Tech 2 outs away from winning its 8th straight game against Oklahoma State.
Got to take a strike here. The guy coming out, he's over 20 pitches now. Second inning of work. A lot of time closers, he's a little bit unusual. He misses upstairs. You got to force those strikes right here, because once you get on at that point, then you have the tying run at the plate with power coming, because the next 4 guys in this lineup, double-digit home runs.
Funk, Simpson, Navigato, and Boone. 3-0. And that's a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Houston Morrill. Morrill with fantastic wheels as well, even though Oklahoma State doesn't really force the issues on the bases. Not with this foursome coming up. Christian Funk, a double to right to his credit. He's walked twice and has played sensational defense at third base. Tim Tadlock has his boys rolling, as the Red Raiders have won 19 of the last 23. Big 12 regular season champs. Cowboys got hot late as well after being swept by Texas Tech. They've won 14 of their last 17. Five straight balls from McMillan.
Breaking ball that time, too, just to change his release point a little bit. And you got 2 left-handed hitters in a row here, dude.
There it is for McMillan to make it 1-1. Christian Funk has been through a lot. Former JUCO transfer that blew out the ACL in both knees before arriving at Oklahoma State. 12 home runs, 40 driven in for the senior. Back-to-back strikes from McMillan.
Just don't see 95 every day.
Oh, no, you don't.
It gets up on you in a hurry. See Funk going up a little bit on the bat right there. Contact now.
Oklahoma State has gone down on strikes 13 times this afternoon. Won't be 14 there. Just staying alive is Funk.
Well, sometimes you put on the equipment and you think, oh, I'm covered. But still,
something.
It hurts.
Well, Fulford has taken a couple of shots. He's got that one, and Boone hit him with the backswing. But that's what you sign up for, right, Keith?
Yeah, you put it on. You understand it. It's like a blow. I mean, you got padding on everything, but still a heck of a blow. Almost got that fastball by him right there.
2-2 from John McMillan to Christian Funk. And Funk wants a timeout. It just takes one swing of the bat from this dangerous Oklahoma State team. And it's a full count.
No, you got a strikeout pitcher. You cannot afford to put the guy in motion. So you can't try to stay out of the double play right here, because the strike him out, throw him out is a real factor. So I just don't believe the runner will be off here.
88 home runs for Oklahoma State this season. Runner is off.
Wow, surprising. You expect your hitter to make contact. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming.
Morrill 10 of 13 on the bases for Oklahoma State. Full count. And Morrill go again. He's off. Well struck, well fouled.
It's a pretty good at bat right here, though. A lot of pitches. The other point is you got a closer for the Red Raiders. Is approaching 35 pitches.
Take him out.
Well,
for the series.
They could take him out for tomorrow for sure. But they're trying to secure the victory. I totally understand that point. This is a guy that's been closing it down all year.
Runner is off again. Nearly back to us. 10th pitch of the at-bat. Well, from John McMillan. 11th round pick by the Tigers, sitting in the mid-90s here.
Each at bat, you get a little more comfortable with velocity as a hitter. You get a little closer to squaring this ball up.
And keep sending Morrill as well. He's gone to right field and foul. And gloved. And the bat broke as well. The bat broke at the handle. He's got the backup ready to go. I've not seen one break there.
Well, they caught it a little bit on the end, as you can see right there, and the bat just... I'm telling you, this is one that comes off in your hand. At the next level, you'll see that. Regular. But you don't see it with a piece of aluminum.
New bat, same situation. 3-2, 1 out. Down by 2. Morrow probably running. And he is. And a strikeout by McMillan. That at bat was a doozy, but 95 gets it done from John McMillan. And is Morrill okay at second base? He's asked for a timeout, looks in discomfort.
Got it in the right spot, finally tied him up. Underneath the hands, above the belt. Like you said, with some giddy up on it.
Not sure what happened to Houston Morrill.
Head first slide. Looks like he's okay.
He will stay in there. And Colin Simpson.
We highlighted him in the open, in the lineup. One hit today for Simpson, but he is a guy that when they've done good things and great things during the year, he's been a part of it. He gets an opportunity right here as the tying run.
Senior leader for Oklahoma State. One of the best four-year careers in recent memory. And did not play as a freshman. 15 home runs. Stepped up with the bases loaded and just missed one. That's Simpson's game, though. Big swings. You can fill it up here in the booth. Tread lightly, John McMillan.
Started him with the hard breaking ball.
.46 home runs, 10th most in Oklahoma State history, and that is in the BB Core era. 0-1 from McMillan. And it's 0-2.
I wouldn't change nothing. I'd go right back to the hard breaking ball again.
This is the guy the Cowboys want at the plate. The catalyst, Colin Simpson. He's down 0-2. And down looking. McMillan slams it shut. The 8th straight win for Texas Tech over Oklahoma State. And one win away from Omaha.
Well, you just go back into the scenario of this ball game. Every time that the Cowboys answered to try to get back in the game, Red Raiders had an answer for that, Lowell. I just think that is so important to be able to score. Cowboys would cut it to 1. Red Raiders would find a way to score. Then at the end, bullpen for the Red Raiders got the job done.
John McMillan, Taylor Floyd, Dan Haven. The bullpen following Micah Dallas. He got the start, struck out a career-high 9. Josh Young, though, once again, a difference maker for Texas Tech. The number 8 overall pick in the draft by the Texas Rangers. Second highest draft pick, playing in the Super Regionals. He had opportunities early. Bases loaded in the second inning. Popped out to second base. 2 on in the 4th. Lined out to short. But after Oklahoma State closed within 1, first pitch he saw in the 7th inning, took it over the center field fence to give Tech that cushion. And then with Oklahoma State having the tying run on second base with 2 outs, Young lays out to make a defensive stop at shortstop, got the final out, thus holding Oklahoma State from getting one more run that would have tied this game.